Okay. Hello. This is Ashley Bishop of Status Coup. John Farina and I are on the ground outside of 26 Federal Plaza in New York City. Immigration court, if you don't know anything about 26 Federal Plaza and why we would be out here, immigration court is held here in Manhattan in this building, and people have been showing up for their scheduled hearings there, only to be detained on site by ICE agents over the last few months. Many have been quietly whisked away from the building's upper floors to a makeshift detention center on the 10th floor, sometimes held for days without beds and basic care. So we are here waiting for a press briefing held by several organizations like the National Immigrant Justice Center, where they will be announcing a class action lawsuit that was, they will be discussing a class action lawsuit that they announced yesterday, intended to stop Trump's disastrous immigration policies. So this is from their press release yesterday. So again, hang on one second. My phone is giving me a hard time today, so bear with me for just a second, guys. Okay, so this is from the press release yesterday. Immigrants and their loyal legal advocates are suing to stop unlawful Trump administration policies that have resulted in the arrest, detention, and fast-track deportation of potentially thousands of people who appeared for their scheduled hearings at immigration courts across the country in recent months. The class action lawsuit seeks to end ongoing collusion between the Department of Homeland Security and Department of Justice, and they're getting started right now.
My name is Murad Ouada, and I am the president and CEO of NYC Action. Thank you all for joining us here today. Before our good trouble lives on, action here, part of the National Day of Action, honoring the life and legacy of John Lewis. We are going to continue to raise up the flag for good trouble here in New York and across this country to make sure that we continue to defend and protect our communities as well as our democracy. Today we take part of that the legacy of John Lewis as we create good trouble in response to the Trump administration's attacks on our civil and human rights in this country. We've seen unprecedented attacks here in New York City, across our country, and continue to witness the depravity of this administration. 50,000 immigrants are currently detained in this country, the most that we have ever seen. And after the passage of the big ugly bill in the federal government, which is going to supercharge immigration enforcement in this country, our federal government has empowered DHS with an additional $170 billion, more than all other federal law enforcement agencies have combined. The Trump administration's actions in New York City have been ruthless. People showing up to immigration court right behind us and across the street are being swept away, snatched, and disappeared from their families, their communities, their homes, their city, and their state, flagrantly against the laws of our nation. Heavily armed and masked men are disappearing people from court, regardless of whatever the decision is in the courtrooms. On the 10th floor of this building right here, we are seeing them use that floor as a black site and a detention facility to disappear our community members for days on end in inhumane conditions, with no showers, with no access to good food, no access to their legal representation, and all for what? To continue this depraved notion of who is worthy and not in this nation. Today we're rallying to stop ICE abductions and to demand the reunification of families. We're calling on our state to hold a special session and pass the New York For All Act so that our local officials are not colluding with family separation and the gutting of our communities. We're also calling for the end of secret police in the United States. It's comical and sad that that even needs to be said in a democracy like ours. And lastly, calling to uphold our democracy and defend our civil liberties. It is not a high mark to be calling on, but that is where we are in the United States of America. We have a few people lined up to speak, and I want to introduce them to share some of their stories and their own calls to action. First up, join me in welcoming up to the mic impacted families who have borne witness to what is happening in this building behind us. And first up is Trini, the mother of Edgar, who's been disappeared and deported from this country.
Hello, buenas tardes.
Hello, good evening.
Mi nombre es Trini Bonilla. Soy madre de un hijo que fue deportado.
My name is Trini Bonilla. My name is Trini, and I'm the mother of my son who was deported.
Él fue detenido aquí en Federal Plaza por ICE.
He was detained by ICE here in Federal Plaza building.
No hubieron explicaciones ni motivo.
There were no explanations, no motive given
Para que él fuera a ser deportado del país.
for a reason for given to for deporting him.
Y eso es lo único que pido, que fuerza para seguir luchando y pues a ver qué podemos hacer para lograr esto que sea posible.
I ask for strength to keep in the struggle and hope that it can be returned to me.
Soy una persona discapacitada y por eso pedí el apoyo del gobierno para que mi hijo no fuera deportado.
I have a disability and I ask the government for my son not to be deported.
Y pues eso es lo único que pido, que muchas gracias y pues seguir luchando nada más.
So I want to thank you and I want to keep in the struggle. That's all I can do.
Yes. ¿No quiere hablar de lo que pasó, las condiciones adentro?
Sí, él me dijo que adentro él fue discriminado.
He told me that inside this detention here in Federal Plaza he was discriminated.
Y pues no recibió muy trato muy bueno ahí.
And he received really bad treatment there.
Y pues por eso fue pues la decisión que él no tomó de firmar nada, pues lo dejaron sin ninguna explicación, sin dejar ninguna firma ni nada. Pues eso fue lo que...
Nobody gave him any explanation of what was going on, and he didn't sign anything. Thank you.
Thank you, gracias.
Thank you, Trini, and thank you for sharing your story. There have been hundreds, if not thousands at this point, of other families like Trini's. One family you may be aware of is Dylan, who was also taken at this courthouse and disappeared, moved to several states, and now he is fighting for his release. So join me in welcoming up to the mic our sister Raisa, Dylan's mother.
Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Malu. I'm the president of Empathy at Rock NYC, Artist Athletes Activist. I'm here with Candace Braun. She's the Chief Empathy Officer at Rock NYC, aka Artist Athletes Activist. We stand in solidarity with the California farm workers on strike, demanding an end to the raids and kidnapping of our neighbors. It's been 2 long months, a total of 58 days today, to be exact, when Dylan was kidnapped in front of his mother while exiting the courtroom. We have been the emotional support for Dylan's mom, Raisa, and advocacy team on the ground, trying to get as many people to know about Dylan's story to help us push for his release. Today, we are standing here with Raisa, Dylan's mom, who would like to take this opportunity to speak to the world about her son and what she and her family have been going through while Dylan is still detained at Moshan Valley Detention Center in Pennsylvania.
Buenas tardes. Soy Raisa, la madre de Dylan, y estoy preocupada por mi hijo.
Good afternoon. I'm Raisa, Dylan's mother, and I'm very worried about my son Dylan.
Ya son 2 meses cuando secuestraron a mi hijo delante de mis ojos, mientras salíamos de la sala de tribunal, y no pude hacer nada para ayudarlo.
It's been 2 months since my son was kidnapped right in front of our eyes as we were leaving the courtroom, and I couldn't do anything to help him.
Dylan no es un criminal, él es un joven estudiante, sin vicios y de buena conducta.
Dylan is not a criminal. He's a young, well-mannered student, and he doesn't have any bad habits or vices.
Trató de hacer todo lo legal y hoy sufre una detención injusta. Las condiciones en esos centros no son buenas, son discriminados con alimentos incluso dañados.
He has been doing everything legally asked of him, and today he continues to suffer in detention. The conditions in those detention centers are not good. There is a lot of mistreatment, and many times the food is spoiled.
Teniendo a mi hijo lejos de nosotros me ha causado depresión y ansiedad. Ahorita tengo un monitoreo del corazón por el dolor que tengo.
My son being away from us has caused me depression and anxiety. Right now, I'm wearing a heart monitor, as you can see, under the doctor's orders because of the pain and anguish all of this has caused me.
Agradezco el apoyo incondicional de muchas personas, incluyendo sus profesores y la organización RAW.
I'm grateful for the unconditional support of many people, including his teachers and the Rock NYC organization.
No es fácil vivir con miedo, preocupación y desespero de no poder hacer nada por mi hijo, mientras tratando de mantener más fuerte para mis otros 2 niños que esperan el regreso de su hermano Dylan.
It is not easy to live with fear, worry, and despair, and not being able to do anything for my son while trying to remain strong for my other 2 babies who desperately await the return of their brother.
Él necesita regresar a casa, es un niño aún y requiere cuidados por su condición de salud.
Dylan needs to return home to us. He is my child and requires special medical care due to his health condition.
Cuando escuché la noticia de los jóvenes que recientemente fueron liberados de detención, me dio una sensación de esperanza, porque Dylan fue el primer estudiante de secundaria de la ciudad de Nueva York que fue atrapado por esta nueva táctica.
When I heard the news about the young people who were recently released from detention, it gave me a sense of hope, because Dylan was actually the very first high school student in New York City to be trapped by this new tactic.
Sin embargo, tengo fe de que Dios haga justicia y toque los corazones de estas personas que están en contra de la comunidad migrante.
Through it all, I still have faith that God will bring forth justice and touch the hearts of those people that are against the immigrant community.
No todos somos malos y agradezco de todo corazón su apoyo. Dios bendiga y proteja a todos. No quiero pues que mi hijo Dylan quede en el olvido. Gracias.
Not all of us are bad people they make us out to be. I wholeheartedly appreciate your support. God bless and protect us all. I don't want my son to be forgotten. Please don't forget about Dylan. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story, and we'll continue to fight for Dylan's release until it actually comes to fruition. Raisa. Next up, join me in welcoming Gwen Carr, Eric Gardner's mother, as well as a civil rights leader in the city of New York.
Good afternoon, everyone. As everyone saw my son murdered on camera exactly 11 years ago today. And, you know, I've lived that nightmare ever since. And to see the immigrants live a nightmare as they're going through right now, I know that they're hurting. I know how it must feel. Okay. Always interruptions.
You can go ahead.
Yes, I know how they must feel being separated from their loved ones, don't know the fate of their loved ones. Same as me 11 years ago. When I was first told that my son had been murdered, I didn't know which way to go, which way to turn. And, you know, if it wasn't for some good people like it's out here now, I don't know what I would have done. So I just tell the people who's out here now to keep on praying, don't give up. We can't give up. As you see, 11 years later, I'm still out here. I will never let any of them forget my son. Eric Garner is going to go down in history. We will not forget. I will keep lifting up his name. We all should say his name. Everybody say Eric Garner. This is the day that he died.
Eric Garner.
Yes. And I thank y'all so much. And the immigrants, please help them. Those who are in the position to help them find their loved ones, because it's a sad thing to be separated from your family. Although I'm permanently separated from mine, but they have a chance of finding their family. And I hope that each and every one of you have some positive results on finding your children, finding your husbands, finding your uncles and aunts, because it's a shame what Trump is doing. Trump is just breaking up lives. He's destroying families. Saying that the immigrants doesn't belong here. A lot of the immigrants was here before he got here. And if you look at his history, he's an immigrant. His parents was immigrants. So what is he talking about? And whatnot. And people tell you not to say nothing. They might send us back. But they're not going to send us back. They're not willing to give back stolen property. And that's what we was, stolen property. So we ain't in any danger of going back, because they brought us here. We didn't come here on our own. But I just want y'all all to remember this is Eric Garner's day also, and keep his name and his memory alive, as I will for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Gwen Carr. And we will never forget the day that Eric Garner was murdered here in the city of New York.
Yes.
Another injustice where justice delayed is always justice denied. Next up, join me in welcoming up to the mic Reverend Kirsten John Foy.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
45 years ago, an American president coined the phrase, "It's morning in America." 6 months ago, another American president issued and instituted a nightmare in America. We stand here today in solidarity with all of those who have lost their lives, all of those who have been disappeared, and all of those who stand up unafraid, unabashed, willing to push back and fight against fascism in America. The dark cloud of tyranny has swept over our nation, and it is time for good people of good conscience to stand up and push back. Stand up and fight back. When we stand together, when we fight together, we win. And for those in my community, the black community, who do not see themselves in this struggle, let me admonish you now. It was our families who were torn up and separated under chattel slavery. It were our children who were disappeared from plantations, our parents who had disappeared from plantations. And today we see the resurrection of not just the spirit of George Wallace and the resurrection of the spirit of Bull Connor. We see the resurrection of the spirit of chattel slavery that wishes to put all of us in chains and put us in prisons and put us in dark places where we can no longer be found. This is not the America that John Lewis fought and died for. This is not the America that Viola Luisa fought and died for. This is not the America that Martin Luther King Jr. fought and died for. This is not the America that we are going to tolerate. It's time for us to recognize that the oppressor of yesterday were adorned in white hoods, white masks, white robes, badges, and guns. And today, the oppressors are adorned in black hoods, black masks, black vests, badges, and guns. It's the same oppressor, and indeed, we are the same victims. And if we do not stand together in this moment, we will be torn apart as a nation and as a people. And as this administration shreds the Constitution and makes mockery of the Declaration of Independence, we stand here and we affirm that we are free people. We stand here and we affirm that we stand together united, black, brown, white, all of good conscience, to push back against tyranny and despotism. The resolute debt has become the home of the spirit of segregation and hate. But the streets are the home of liberty and justice for all. And you may sit behind the resolute desk, but you will never take these streets. And we will fight until the last one of us is standing to reclaim our democracy from a tyrant and the spirit of hate, bigotry, and segregation that has resurrected itself. Jim Crow is alive and well today, but so is the spirit of John Lewis. So is the spirit of Eric Garner. So is the spirit of all those who have died at the hands of this tyrant. We will not let them be forgotten, and we will fight. We will fight. We will fight until we reclaim our country. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Next up, join me in welcoming up to the mic, Randy Weingarten, the president of the American Federation of Teachers.
So there are about 500 to 600 events across the country right now honoring the memory of John Lewis. And John Lewis and your son dying the same day makes today a holy day.
That's
in
right.
so many ways.
That's right.
The holiness of that day, of John Lewis and his holiness and his courage, reminding us of the justice we must pursue in Eric Garner's death.
Amen.
But there's lots of other justice we must pursue.
That's
And
right.
I'm standing here today in New York, my hometown, as opposed to any other towns around this country, to say to New York, to say to our immigrant community, to say to Dylan and his parents, that the teachers of this country are with you. The teachers of this country will not be silent. The teachers of this country understand what it means to protect our babies and protect our children. And we cannot imagine, or could not imagine, until January 20th of this year, that it would be possible for the government of this United States in this modern era to go into schools, to go into Home Depot parking lots, to go into factories, to go into restaurants, to go into volleyball courts, to go into soccer fields, and do what is unimaginable in the United States of America, which is to disappear people, to disappear children, to disappear workers. And why? Not because they're hardened criminals, to disappear them because they wanted and their parents wanted the promise of America. The promise of America. The promise that the Statue of Liberty is out in this harbor saying, virtually all of us came from people who came to this country either forcibly or voluntarily to have a better life. And our job as Americans is to stand up and say that which was good for my grandfather has to be good for immigrant families now. And so the teachers of this country, the nurses of this country, the public employees of this country are standing up, are showing up, are speaking out as John Lewis would want us to do, are making good trouble as John Lewis would want us to do. And as my dear friend, the Reverend, who just said, the streets sometimes are the only place where we will have and fight for that justice and that liberty. When all else fails, when tyranny ascends, when darkness comes over us, it is the light that we get. It is the light that we get from each other as we stand together in good trouble this afternoon on the streets, saying to people all through this city and all through this nation that we will protect our immigrant friends, that we will protect our communities, that we will fight to make sure that everyone has the freedom and the justice that our Constitution and our Declaration of Human Rights and of Independence compel. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, join me in welcoming up to the mic my sister in arms, Donna Lieberman, the Executive Director of the New York Civil Liberties Union.
Thank you, Farad. The New York Civil Liberties Union stands here today with hundreds of thousands of Americans across the country and many, many, many New Yorkers in the spirit of John Lewis, in the memory of Eric Garner, to make good trouble and to make our voices heard loud and clear. Hands off immigrants, hands off education and Medicaid and abortion, hands off our communities, hands off, damn it. And as the wannabe king does everything he can to intimidate his critics and bully us into submission, we the people are we the good troublemakers, and we are resolute. We come in peace to stand up and speak out for our democracy, for the people who are hurting, for the soul and values of our nation, for freedom and equal justice for all, for our right to believe what we believe, to say what we think, to peacefully and lawfully protest the policies of this or any other government. That's what good trouble is about. We will not be bullied into silence. We will not stand by and let the Trump regime wreak havoc with our courts and turn them into traps, and wreak havoc with our schools and universities, which are the foundation of our democracy. We will not stand by and let the racist in chief turn back the clock on equal rights for the LGBTQ community, for black people, for women, for Latinos. We will not stand by, and we will not stand down. We will not let MAGA demonize immigrants, separate families, and upend our neighborhoods and supercharge ICE's cruel deportation machine. And we will not let his hate-filled rhetoric and cruel policies divide us. We will stand united to make good trouble, to defend equal justice for everyone in this country, citizen or not. To say ideas are not illegal. Not for Mahmoud Khalil. Right. Not for Rumeysa Ozturk. Not for Harvard or CUNY. And certainly not for us. Right. Hands off free speech. Hands off abortion. Hands off Medicaid. Hands off our democracy. John Lewis showed us that we, the people, have the power. Eric Garner showed us that we, the people, must make good trouble. And for Dylan and tens of thousands, imagine that, tens of thousands of innocent people locked up in ICE custody around the country, we, the people, must and we are using our power to stand up and make good trouble, as long as it takes to protect our values, to defend our rights, and to build a better future in our democracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Next up, join me in welcoming up to the mic Rabbi Yael Werber, the Associate Rabbi at Beit Shimcha Torah.
Hi, I'm Rabbi Yael Werber. I'm the Associate Rabbi at Congregation Beit Simchat Torah in Manhattan, the LGBTQ synagogue in the city. I am extremely honored and grateful to speak here this afternoon. I want to say a special thank you to NYC for inviting me to speak, and I want to say a particular moment of gratitude to Reza and Trini for speaking about their story, and I want to let them know that every single week at our service, we pray for the return of their sons and everyone else who has been disappeared, both those whose names we know and those whose names we do not know. In 2016, CBST, under the leadership of Rabbi Sharon Kleinbaum, saw the writing on the wall in the first Trump administration and saw how terrible and terrifying things were about to get. During the first round of attacks on immigrant communities, particularly here in New York, CBST undertook the initiative of creating the ARC Immigration Clinic, which is a pro se clinic helping largely LGBTQ and HIV-positive immigrant friends and their families apply for asylum here in New York. And as of today, we have helped almost 70 immigrant friends successfully be granted asylum. But we know that attacks are happening even on those in the process as we speak. Right now in the Jewish calendar, we have just entered a period known as the 3 weeks, which are 3 weeks marking mourning and sorrow, which mark the period in history where the holiest site of Jewish prayer, the Jewish temple, was destroyed. And the reason given for the destruction of the temple is baseless hatred. What is baseless hatred? I'm going to quote here. The reason the Jewish temple was destroyed was because of hatred of one's neighbor for no reason. I'm just going to say that one more time. The reason for destruction was because of hatred of one's neighbor for no reason. 36 times in the Torah, in the Hebrew Bible, it tells us to love the stranger, love the other.
That's right.
Love the one who looks different than you.
That's right.
Love the one who acts different than you.
Right.
Love the one who is other than you. 36 times.
That's right.
In contrast, it only says love your friend one time. But 36 times we are told we have an obligation to be kind to those who are seen as other. because we too were once seen as the other. We too were once strangers. New Yorkers know this intimately and deeply. We came here as others, seeking hope and opportunity, safety and refuge. And now it is our turn to say no to baseless hatred, to hatred against the immigrant and the other. It is our duty, our moral responsibility to speak up on behalf of our fellow New Yorkers, to speak out on the attacks happening on immigrant communities, on the lack of due process and decency being granted to our most vulnerable friends and neighbors, to make sure that every human being is treated and welcomed with dignity. We know that at any moment there might be thousands of acts of hatred happening all around us. But we also know that that means that there are thousands of acts of kindness and resistance that are possible as well. Even a small act of kindness is a miracle, and it is the first step we can take to protect against baseless hatred overtaking us and destroying everything in its path yet again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi. That brings our program to a close. And the message we want to send you all off with is Congressman John Lewis wanted us to continue to make this country deliver on its promise.
That's right.
He wanted us to deliver justice.
That's right.
And in this moment, we're finding ourselves at a crossroads where democracy is going to the left and authoritarianism is going down the middle. So either we all stand up together to do good trouble,
That's right. That's right.
or we're all gonna fall.
That's right.
Because right now, we're seeing attacks on immigrants here in New York and across this country. But these attacks are not just on immigrants. They're on all of us.
That's right.
And this is a direct challenge to the most important and foundational values of American society, which means that our democracy needs us to stand up and fight back. Thank you all for joining us today.
Picture of this? I didn't get one.
Yeah, go for it.
Can you flip it? Thank you so much. Perfect, thank you.
No worries. Yeah. Okay, so that was the press briefing. As you saw, my phone isn't working, so we're going to go without the phone for today. But as you guys saw, Gwen Carr, Eric Garner's mom, spoke. Today is the anniversary of Eric Garner's death in New York City, which is why she was speaking here. We heard from two other mothers of people who have had their kids essentially kidnapped. We heard from, I believe her name is Riza, whose son Dylan was the first high school student in New York City to be taken by ICE. And she says that it's been about 2 months since that happened, which I kind of can't believe that it's been that long since then, but it's been about 2 months. We also heard from another mother whose son was also taken by ICE. So we are going to, and I'm sorry, Randy Weingarten is also here, president of the American Teachers Federation is also here. So again, several different speakers. We are going to go around and do some interviews before the march starts. So after this, in just a little while, people are going to be meeting at Foley Square. There will be a march from Foley Square back to 26 Federal Plaza. That's going to start at about 5:30, and I think we're supposed to be gathering in front of Foley Square at about 5. So we will be doing interviews between now and then, so hang tight with us. If you haven't done so yet, now would be a very good time to like, follow, and subscribe to Status Coup. If you're not yet a member, please become a member at statuscoup.com/join. We have a lot of trips coming up that we want to take. John and I are set to go back to Florida to continue our coverage of Alligator Alcatraz at any given day. Really, we're kind of just waiting to see when protests are going to start up again. So as soon as that happens, we'll be back in Florida. We need your help to do that. You can support our independent journalism by becoming a member for as little as $5 a day. A month, not a day, a month at statuscoup.com/join. And again, so hang tight with us. We're going to be covering the rest of this action here. So again, we'll be meeting people at Foley Square at around 5 and marching at around 5:30, doing interviews in the interim. So hang tight with us.
Okay. Yes. Foley Square, 5:30, big bell. You missed Eric Gardner's mom. You know Dylan, the student, the reporters are asking, 20-year-old who got taken by ICE, the first high school student. Her mom, his mom. But all of it's on NYC Action on Twitter if you want to get it. But not New York Immigration Coalition. Well, we retweet it, so you'll find it. New York Immigration Coalition or NYC Action or C4.
Activate.
John Farina, any of your press folks have a folding chair? Anybody have a folding chair?
Nope. Read.
Yeah.
Gwen needs help.
Hey, do you know the names of those kids? That one.
Ready? We got going on. People now.
Hang on one second. I'm looking for people to interview, so give me just 1 second, guys.
Man.
Hold it, you know. Meeting now or what?
I saw 5. Everyone else is selling the side.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Julie. Which person is this? Do you know their name?
All right. Okay. So I am here with Gwen Carr. You are Eric Garner's mother.
Yes.
Today is the anniversary of his death in New York City. Why did you think it was important to show up today specifically for immigrants' rights on the anniversary of your son's death?
First of all, I came because it was the 11th anniversary of the murdering of my son, and I want to keep his name alive. And also, I wanted to stand in solidarity with the immigrants because I know it's a hurtful feeling to be separated from your family, not know where they are. And also because of John Lewis, who died on the same day, not the same year, but the same day that my son passed away. And we think that all of these incidents are combined. So we must stand together at all times. And I feel we must stand for something or we might fall for anything.
I mean, given that, all of this is happening during Trump's second term, is this something that you could have ever expected in this country?
No, I never expected to see the clock turned back to 1965 or earlier. I never, in my wildest dreams, I thought by the time my grandchildren came, it would be like everything would be maybe not 100%, but much further than what it is, because we're going backwards at this time.
I mean, we are. And What would you say to younger people who are kind of experiencing this right now and experiencing maybe this is, their coming of age moment, and they're coming of age at a time where, as you said, the U.S. is going backwards very quickly. What message would you give them?
I would say to the young people, be aware of what's going on. And when you become of age to vote, make sure you vote, because your vote counts. Now, you can see with this administration where so many people didn't vote, and as they would have voted, we might have had a different administration. So, and, stand tall and pay attention to what's going on, because it's very important, and they are our future.
Do you have any final message for viewers of Status Coup? Anything about how we can move forward from this moment?
Well, from this moment, I think I would move forward. Well, I know I would move forward with standing up for what's right, standing in solidarity with the people who needs the help, standing with the immigrants, with the unfortunate, and then they're cutting back Medicaid, they're cutting back food stamps, which that doesn't affect me, but it affects so many people around me. And a lot of people who thought it wouldn't affect them, it's coming home to roost. See, and that's what you got to pay attention to.
Thank you so much, Gwen. Really appreciate it. All right. So again, that was Gwen Carr, Eric Garner's mother, and today is the anniversary of his death in New York City. Hang with us. It's hot out. I'm going to take a lot of water breaks today because I'm feeling the heat already. But we will be continuing to do interviews as this goes on before the march at 5:30.
I'm gonna hold it.
Yeah.
Did you get what you needed, or did you still want to go?
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so for anyone who maybe missed the beginning of the press briefing, can you just give a little brief thing, your name and the organization you work with, all that kind of good stuff?
Sure. I am Elder Kirsten John Foy, and the president and CEO of the Arc of Justice. We are a national civil rights organization.
Excellent. And why did you think it was important to show up here today for immigrant rights in New York City?
I think it's important for those of us who have struggled through the civil rights movement, struggled through Jim Crow, through chattel slavery, to recognize that the same spirit that oppressed black people in the 18th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th century is the same spirit that is seeking to oppress immigrants in the 21st century. And we can't stand idly by and let the spirit of Jim Crow resurrect itself and now target an entirely different community without us standing with them. We would be abdicating our moral responsibility as a community. We'd be abdicating our political interest. And it's important that we stand up and we affirm our unity and our brother and sisterhood with all communities, whether they were born in this country or they came to this country. We are all human beings, and we are all endowed with certain unalienable rights. And those rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we have seen those rights eroded and indeed snatched away from us. And we can't stand by idly and not speak out. Dr. King famously said that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And that was true indeed in the 20th century. In the 21st century, injustice anywhere against anyone is a threat to justice everywhere and everyone. And we must stand up and fight.
Yeah, and I was just asking Eric Garner's mom, Gwen Carr, about this feeling that, or not feeling, I mean, just kind of watching the U.S. backslide to places that I think anyone who's been active in politics, anyone who's been, around on the scene for a while, would say is a place that we haven't been in a very long time. So what thoughts do you have on just this idea that we are backsliding, and what does it feel like to note that in real time, to see the decline of the U.S. in this moment?
Well, white supremacy has never given up on itself. We may have thought we won the Civil War. We may have thought that we progressed beyond certain places and that we reached a certain baseline of rights and a certain baseline of entitlement and privilege in this country as citizens, but we indeed have not. And if we have learned any lesson in the last 6 months, it's this, that democracy is a living and breathing thing. And we can't just sit back and rest on our laurels. We have to continue to be vigilant and continue to fight, not just to maintain, but to progress. And what the enemy and the oppressor has done is taken us back. And so if we believe that we backslid, and I don't believe we backslid, I believe we fell asleep at the wheel. I believe we rested on our laurels, and we believed in what we hoped for. We believed in the hope, but the hope was not realized yet. And it's now the time to stand up and fight for that very same hope that we believed in, and that we continue to fight for, not just for the memory of those that came before us, like John Lewis and Eric Garner, and not just for today, but for tomorrow, and the America that we want to see for tomorrow. And if we don't do that, the experiment, the great experiment that is American democracy, will have failed. And we will have failed because we will have relaxed, and we will have given and acquiesced to the oppressor at a time when we should have affirmed and asserted our power. And I won't let that happen on my watch.
So for anyone who is watching this, viewers of Status Coup, how do we do this? How do we move forward? What would you recommend people do, people who want to get involved? What should everyone be doing in this moment?
Join an organization like the Arc of Justice, like the New York Immigration Coalition, like the NAACP, the National Action Network, the Hispanic Federation. Join an organization that is on the front lines of affirming democracy. Lend yourself, lend your voice, lend your power. Use your social media platforms to speak up and to speak out. Encourage your friends who are out here fighting by joining them or supporting them in any way. Donate money to organizations that are doing legal defense for immigrants who are being disappeared. Use your resources, your human resources, and your material resources in the pursuit of democracy. The same way you wouldn't allow someone to come into your home and disappear your family or disappear your possessions, it's the same way you should be offended when an administration wants to disappear entire communities and wants to rob us of our economic independence, rob us of our humanity, rob us of our dignity. We've seen this in Nazi Germany. We've seen this in America in yesteryear. We cannot allow that to prevail today.
Thank you so much. Do you have any final thoughts that you want to share?
No justice, no peace.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
I appreciate it. Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
All right, you ready?
All right.
We should walk around.
Okay. All right. We are going to walk around and move over to Foley Square. Just 1 second. I'm going to try to get one more interview before we do, and I'm going to hand the mic over.
Okay. Don't forget, guys, this work is possible only because of you, the audience, the members, our viewers. So thank you for your support. If you would like to become a member, statuscoup.com/join. Sign up, $5 a month. Also, we have a donation page, statuscoup.com/donate. And then super chats are welcome. We really appreciate it. Okay. Going on to the next interview.
Is this for a digital story or?
It's video. We're live right now.
Oh, you're live.
Okay, you're live.
Okay.
We're Status Coup. We're live. We are live. So I am here with Randy Weingarten. So Randy, why did you show up specifically today to this press briefing and soon to be march from Foley Square to 26 Federal Plaza?
So we have educators and unionists in many of the different events throughout the country. John Lewis was one of our collective heroes. And honoring the day that he died 5 years ago
and honoring it with action to fight injustice is something that many of my members think is really important. So I wanted to be in my hometown because I think that 5 years ago, not even John Lewis would have been able to believe that the United States government would disappear people, that the United States government would act this cruelly. We thought that the separation of children that the last Trump administration did on the border was cruel and venal and a deprivation. But imagine right now, it's not just saying people's names, but talking about what ICE is doing to basically create fear amongst immigrant communities throughout the country, to deport young people going to sports practice, to deport parents and men trying to do a day's work as a day laborer, to deport women who are seamstresses, to deport people who work in restaurants, to deport people who work in farms. These folks could be, in a different generation, my grandparents. They could be, in a different generation, Donald Trump's parents or grandparents. Why would we do this right now? What is this about? The level of deprivation and fear, the attack of the other, the dehumanization. Those of us who are not immediately in that line of fire, shame on us if we don't speak out. So I wanted to be here in my hometown, where everybody knows me, to say the teachers of America are standing with our immigrant friends and our immigrant families. And this is a grave injustice and dehumanization. And we have to stand up and speak out for it. Yes, there are so many other deprivations to opportunity, to dignity, but right now, today, we must do what John Lewis compelled us to do, which is to make good trouble in a nonviolent, peaceful way, to shine the light on this darkness and deprivation. That's why I'm here today.
And I guess given everything that you just outlined, I mean, I think we all recognize that we are in a critical moment. People are being separated from their families. I mean, ICE raids have been going on all across the country. We've been covering it for the duration of this, second term of Trump. And a lot of the attention has focused, rightfully so, on Trump and his administration. Do you think that the Democrats are doing enough in this moment to be a stopgap measure to try to fight back against everything that we are all seeing and the reason that everyone is here today?
So look, I think that there's no one who's going to save us but ourselves. And so ultimately, the Democrats, if they had power, I mean, they're going to court. The AGs have been going to court. They're doing what they can do. But what we need to do is hold the people in power accountable. And if they won't actually walk the road of basic human dignity, and they keep on with this, or they keep walking away or enabling this cruel deprivation, this disappearing of people, this police state in the United States of America, then what we need the Democrats to do is have the best candidates available. So we vote the people engaged in the deprivation out of office. We can't expect that people other than ourselves, the Constitution talks about we the people. So we the people must stand up. We the people must act. We the people must speak. And we the people must be on the streets. And then ultimately, the Democrats, if they do get back into power, They must act decisively to stop this.
Thank you so much, Randy. Appreciate it. All right. Okay. Again, that was Randy Weingarten, president of the American Teachers Federation. We're talking about having good candidates in power. New York City has one. We're currently going through a mayoral election right now, so just throwing that out there. But we are now going to move over to Foley Square, where everyone is gathering before a march at 5:30. So we're going to head over there right now. Hang with us.
See what happens when you get old?
This is the Federal Plaza building where ICE has been operating out of.
So to our right, to my right, where you can just see straight on, this is 26 Federal Plaza. This is where ICE has been operating out of. So this is where immigration court is held. This is where the sort of makeshift detention center is also within this building. If you've been following our coverage on this, this is where. Yes.
Are you covering the protest?
We are indeed.
Where is it going to be held?
Foley Square, around the corner over here.
Around the corner over there.
Yep. Come this
Thank
way.
you.
You are welcome.
Go that way?
Yep, this way's easier.
We are. Yeah, so again, if you've been following our coverage of ICE and the ICE raids, John and I were inside 26 Federal Plaza maybe a month ago now, where we saw several people detained and disappeared by ICE. That has continued. So again, if you haven't watched that, you can check out our coverage at StatusCoup.com. Sorry guys, it's very hot today. I am drinking water. I'm sorry if you can all hear that. Cops.
Homeland Security.
Homeland Security. All right, as you guys can see, we are reaching Foley Square right now. Looks like there's there's a lot of people. We turn the corner to see a lot of people over here at Foley Square. So it's, what time is it now? It's 5:15, just about. If there's this many people here at 5:15, the march is scheduled to go at 5:30. I would expect that there's going to be more people who show up. So again, we are on our way there now. So just a little bit about the protest, the march, all of that as we head over there. So this march is part of today's Good Trouble Lives On National Day of Action to mark the 5th anniversary of Congressman John Lewis's passing and his legacy of good trouble. And again, activists are holding a mass rally to fight against Trump's attacks on immigrant New Yorkers. The action was organized by several New York-based and national organizations, including New York Immigration Coalition, the Arc of Justice, who we just spoke with the CEO of a little while ago, Climate Defenders, 50501, and Strong Economy for All. And here is just a little bit from their press briefing, just to kind of like recap what we heard from speakers at the press release just a little while ago. This action, which is held at the exact location where masked ICE agents have ripped hundreds of immigrant New Yorkers from their families, is a demand for Governor Hochul to take bold action and protect our city against the federal government's assault, including the passage of the reconciliation bill that guts critical safety net programs to funnel $170 billion into Trump's deportation machine. Advocates are calling on Governor Hochul to convene a special session in Albany to pass the New York for All Act to end collusion between ICE and local law enforcement. They're also urging Congress to create more pathways to citizenship for those who have long called America home, and demanding the Trump administration uphold our constitutional right to due process. Additionally, advocates are calling for state and federal legislation to ban ICE agents from wearing masks and require them to identify themselves. Just like a quick note on this, when John and I covered ICE agents detaining people at 26 Federal Plaza, as I was just saying while we were walking past the building, several of those agents were masked up, and there was even one agent that was kind of joking around with another photographer about how he would take the mask off for a paid photo op. So that is a thing. Several representatives have now already introduced legislation to ban ICE agents from wearing masks during ICE raids. Dan Goldman and Adriana Espaillat introduced a bill in the House. Senators Alex Padilla and Cory Booker have done the same in the Senate. So just a little bit more background about why we're out here today. Again, as you can see behind me, there's a decent group of people out here already. The march is going to start at 5:30. So hang tight with us for the next, 10, 15 or so minutes while we're waiting for the march to get going. We are going to try to do some interviews while we're out here. So we'll talk to people on the ground, and we'll be out here tonight. It's hot, but we are going to soldier through it, and we will show you guys what's going on in New York City today. Also, if you haven't done it, while we're kind of idling and waiting around for the march to get started, you should become a member of Status Coup. You can do that at statuscoup.com/join. As we've been saying, John and I have other trips planned. We want to go back to Florida. We want to go continue our coverage of Alligator Alcatraz. So we need your support to do that. You can do that for as little as $5 a month. It's like one coffee that you don't get. So please, if you can, support independent journalism, support our efforts to continue covering these stories that other outlets are not going to be covering on the ground. I would expect that for this, the march and protest portion of today, there aren't going to be other cameras around. It's going to be just John and I. So again, you can support our efforts at statuscoup.com/join.
You want to go take a moment, maybe find somebody to interview, and then I'm going to go over there. I'll film them singing.
Okay. You can throw that in the water. It's hot. You can put the garbage one in.
Oh, in that.
Yeah, where?
Are you going to put that?
I have two. There's one on each side. You can just throw it in the regular backpack wherever.
This is your extra one?
Yeah, that's for you.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm going to go over there.
Okay.
Take your time. Give me that. I'll take that.
Okay.
America, wake up! Don't let the whole country break up! 86 a motherfucker now! A tax on us queer folk! Take women back 50 years ago! 86 a motherfucker now! Not ever, no never, we never will stop, you know we'll fight you forever and ever until you depart. We're so done with you. Together, that's how we will build a world without you. We'll keep on resisting, you'll see. Each day is more awful. Each action he takes unlawful. 86 a motherfucker now. Obstruction of justice is reason enough, yeah, trust us. 86 a motherfucker now. Forever, never, we never will stop, you know we'll fight you forever and ever until you depart. We're so done with you. Together, together, that's how we will build a world without you. We'll keep on resisting, you'll see. Woo!
We are Sing Out Louise. We sing songs in the key of
Okay, I insisted that this one be put on, but I'm scared of it.
Don't be scared, Jay.
I'm so scared of it.
Welcome to Big Girl P.
Alright, this is Talking Head. It's the same as whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's scary, right?
Is it okay to join?
Sure.
Come
Give it a
some,
try.
Jay. Come some.
Alright, we're going to try it. And if midway through it's not working, we're going to stop and we're going to go to something easy. Alright? Because we're not professional.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Alright. If you found yourself living in a violent land, and if you found yourself in a troubled part of the world, and if you found yourself with storms and droughts and a gang war on the street, if you found yourself with a family to feed and a work in your hair, you tell yourself, I'm getting out of here. Lady Liberty, practice people with their left. Why are refugees down in concentration camps? When there's room for all, we've got lots of space. Don't need a border wall, that is only our race. It's time to ask yourself, why can't they work here? It's time to ask yourself, do they all pay their taxes too? It's time to tell yourself, human rights are what it's about. It's time to tell yourself, human beings are asking for help. Say again. Oh, dude. He wants white supremacy back to our racist roots. Slavery, genocide, not in our lifetime. Build up people, not a wall. Same as it ever was. 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 Lady Liberty, begging people with their left. Why are refugees down in concentration camps? When there's room for all, we've got lots of space. Don't need a border wall, that is only about race. Make us great again. We all know what he means. Make us hate again. He wants white supremacy back to our racist roots. Slavery and genocide, not in our lifetime. Build up people, not a wall.
My God, what have we done?
Okay, let's go back to low standards. America the Pitiful.
Number 5.
Alright, that's number 5 in your hymnal.
Good, because we need it uplift. Yeah, we need some. We need
Alright. 1, 2, 3. So beautiful the air, army on bolts of guns and greed, and Congress only blocks the way and watches while we bleed. America, America, 100 die each day in suicide and
All right, guys. So have a few people that we want to talk to about why they showed up today. So we are going to go find them and talk to them about why people showed up.
Hi, can I give you that?
Thank you.
No, I mean, I was...
Hello, we're back.
Right.
We're back.
Thank you for the co-fans.
Yeah. Right.
All right, we're back. It just so happens that this is the woman who asked us before for directions to how to get to Foley Square, and I just happened to walk up to her without even realizing. So we're going to talk right now. So for viewers of Status Coup, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Pastor Terry.
Nice to meet you. And
I'm Jennifer Lee.
Jennifer Lee. Okay, so Terry, I'll start with you. Why did you show up today for this protest in support of immigrant rights?
Yeah, well, I'm here in memory of John Lewis, who told us to make some good trouble. So I show up when and where I can because I know these are troubling times. They really are. And I'm here as part of my Christian witness to stand up for immigrant rights, to stand up for trans rights, and to stop the violence that this regime is perpetrating on the American people. Enough is enough. We're here to say no, no more.
And just a quick follow-up. Do you have anything that you would want to share for people who are also Christian, who do not share your view on immigrant rights and the rights of trans people, human rights in general?
Yeah, I would have something to say to my siblings who might disagree with me on political and policy matters. And what I would say is read your Bible. The gospel of Jesus Christ is not about hatred. It's about love. It's about welcoming the stranger. And so that's what my witness here is intended to convey.
That's great. So you heard, Terry, read your Bible if you need to do that. And Jennifer, why are you here today?
I guess just because what's going on is absolutely horrible. I've lived through this once already back in the late 60s, 70s. And I can see all the patterns, except this is far worse. I just feel it's a tremendous amount of greed and grab for power.
I mean, yeah, I've heard this from, a lot of people kind of saying that we've been through this before in this country. How does it feel to now be living through it for a second time?
Horrible, horrible. We don't learn why we can't get together and everything. I'm said right now I'm an endangered species. I'm trans. And that worries me, and it worries me when they're going to cut funding off to New York, because then they're going to come after everybody. It's the old saying, and then they came after me. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I guess on this, what can everybody do? What can everybody do? We are here to march. There's been a lot of, mass protests, a lot of marches. We had the Hands Off protest, the No King's Day protest, which we've been covered. Besides marching, what can everybody do to show up for people, for the immigrant community, for the trans community, for just human rights in this country? What else besides showing up for a march can we do?
I think showing up at an event like this is a first step. And it's a fantastic first step. We get to meet new friends, right? We get to meet new friends. We get to see that there are many other people who are saying no, once again, to the violence that is out there. I think the next step is we build communities of resistance and hope. And we do that by talking to our neighbors, just taking little steps, right? To steps of kindness, steps of solidarity, and to build the biggest movement we can, right? Across all kinds of disagreements, across all different faith traditions, across different political traditions. We need to find each other, and that's happening, and that gives me tremendous hope.
Thank you. And what about you? What do you think that people should be doing? Are there any lessons from the civil rights movement that you would impart on people?
My biggest concern now is how we're treating education and science. We're going backwards. We're going horribly backwards. We're losing the way we're treating medicine now. Yes, our healthcare system is bad, but you don't need to. You use a scalpel. You don't just go in and blow everything up. I'm very concerned if another pandemic comes along, how we're not going to be even more unprepared for this one.
Thank you. Any final thoughts? Any final thoughts that you would like to share with viewers of Status Coup about the unfortunate moment that we are in today, and just the sheer fact that, as you said, we are here on a National Day of Action in remembrance of John Lewis, who coined the phrase "good trouble," which is an excellent phrase. Any final thoughts on good trouble?
Keep getting in good trouble. That's my final thought for the day. We are finding each other. We are building a movement. And once again, that gives me tremendous hope in the midst of some darkness out there, right? So, final thought.
Terry, thank you so much. And Jennifer, final thoughts.
I hope we have a big enough crowd to make us be noticed, and I hope it's a big enough crowd across the nation. Not that it's going to change anything, but it's people at least getting together and getting reinforced and learning that other people agree with them. Because the biggest problem I see right now is everybody's very lonely.
Thank you both so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, of course. Of course. Well, yeah.
No,
Keep on giving an alternative to corporate news. All right.
We can do that. That is what we're here for.
As I said, I hope they can add this to my other FBI files.
What?
They can add this to my other FBI files.
All right.
FBI files. I would love to hear more about that.
What?
I would love to hear more about that.
I was in the Washington protests. I'm sure buried in there are files somewhere.
Goodness. Well, maybe today will be in addition to that.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
All
Have a good one.
Right.
Of course, it is our pleasure.
All right. Take care, man.
All right. So we're going to get some signs, and there's a few more people that we want to talk to. Before the march starts, it's 5:30 now, so we should be getting going very soon. Sure. We're getting pins. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Have Know Your Rights cards in English and Spanish.
Yeah. Oh, and that's awesome.
Glows in the dark.
I'll take the glow in the dark one. That is awesome. It's very sweet of you guys to be out here with signs and pins for everybody.
Oh, thank you so much. Of course. That's awesome. Have fun and be safe.
Thank you. You guys too. All right, we got a pin. That's very nice. Okay, so there's a few more people I want to talk to, and we're going to head over this way. So. All right, so we are going to talk to these nice women with the flowers right over here. All right, it looks like one of these women is engaged. I am ready for you guys whenever you're ready.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Okay, so we will talk to both of you when she is done doing her other interview. You guys are getting some media attention right now. I assume it's because of your beautiful flowers and excellent signs. So for viewers of Status Coup, can you just introduce yourself and tell us why you're out here today?
Yeah, I'm Cassie, and I'm here because I think a lot of people are not paying attention on what's going on in the country, and it's very scary. I feel like we're frogs in a pot waiting for it to boil, and what's going on is just not right. The hate and the division and what they're doing to immigrants who built this country. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all immigrants, and I don't think it's right. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Is there any special significance with the flowers?
This is what we were told to bring on. Yeah, to wear white and to bring flowers. Yeah, I'm not sure what the significance is, but following the rules.
Following the rules. What organization is that?
What organization did we get this from?
The Women's March.
The Women's March.
Okay, the Women's March. Okay, so just really quickly, I can hear the announcer saying that we'll be getting started soon, but we will talk to you guys until we get started. Okay, so I saw you were already interviewing, so you're already practiced. So for viewers of Status Coup, can you just say your name and why you showed up here today?
My name is Linda, and I'm just here to stand by my brothers and sisters who are being impacted by what's going on in this country. It hit home for me and my family. It's just despicable what's going on in this country, and people that don't have relatives or they don't know what can happen to them. Until it happens to them, it won't hit home. Until someone gets taken from their home for no reason, with no due process, it just won't be real for them. But I know it's real.
So I'm sorry, if you don't mind my asking, your family has been affected by the disappearances?
By the immigration process. I was in immigration for like 9 years straight. Obviously, the regulations have to be rewritten. Every case is very specific to that individual. And I have children. Their fathers from another country. I have to worry about my children's safety right now, and we're U.S. citizens, so it's horrible. I can't imagine my other brothers and sisters in this country who came here trying to make a life and are impacted by all this. So
yeah, I mean,
this is what it is. It's a concentration camp. He's not fooling anyone. It's despicable.
Oh, he's fooling some people.
Well,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, John, the camera guy, and we were out there almost a couple of weeks ago now, I want to say. We were not able to get in, but, we were out there talking to people who were protesting. We've been on the story. I spoke with an immigration lawyer yesterday who, one of her clients is at Alligator Alcatraz. She was having a hard time even being able to reach them. I mean,
this has been going on. Even when he ripped the children away from their families. Parents are still separated from their children.
And how can they call
everyone's missing?
Yeah.
It's like, where is everyone?
How can they call them illegals when they're pulling them out of courtrooms? And how can they call them lazy when they're pulling them off their jobs? It's like it's all just for show. It's all just somebody to hate. You always need somebody to point the finger at of the blame. And the real blame is at the very top. It's not at the bottom. It's at the top.
It's racism and it's hate. That's what it is.
They had the nerve to put a black man in the presidency. That's what this is all about. Yeah.
You feel like this is where a lot of this is stemming from?
Yeah, that's where it started. I think that's where it started because we had the nerve to have people in the Senate and Congress answer to a black man. But I think it started way before that. It started during Reagan with the religion getting into the politics, and they had their own agenda. It's all about control. And they just need to get everybody to hate one group of people to rally them. But it's all BS,
I mean, it does seem like we are going backwards. Everyone that I've spoken to today, again, we are here in remembrance of John Lewis. It's also 11 years ago today, Eric Garner was murdered in New York City. So we're here in remembrance of both of those people. And again, it's a National Day of Action in support of good trouble, which is John Lewis's phrase. Basically everyone that I've spoken to has said, we are going backwards. People are citing...
People have to start paying attention. They have to pay attention, not just watch TV. You got to pay attention. Look at all the different newses and all the different medias, not just one, because the truth is out there. So.
All right. Do you guys have any final thoughts that you would want to add for viewers of Status Coup about how you've both been affected by the, immigration policies of Donald Trump?
Like I said, I was in immigration court for 9 years. They definitely need to rewrite the laws. And people have to get involved. We have to stick up for each other. We have to stand by our brothers and sisters, get involved. Because they're going to come after you. Sooner or later, you're going to be the target. Okay? this is just one group of people. You know, every week it's a different group of people that's under attack. And sooner or later they're going to come for everyone.
To deport citizens. I mean, even just to say it in jest, coming out of the mouth of the president, that's pretty scary. But her ex-husband, her children's father, we were having panic attacks because he was called into court. But thank God he's in New York. Yeah, we were losing sleep. We didn't know and he had to go by himself. He wasn't allowed to bring anybody with him, and luckily he did his TOP.
No, he got his green card.
He got his green card. But if this was Texas or if this was some flyover state, it might not have had the same result. But luckily he was in New York. So maybe that has something to do with it, that he was able to leave and it wasn't a problem. But there are millions of men like him that are having different results when they're just trying to do the right thing and they're trying to show up yearly like they're supposed to, and they're not coming back out. Meanwhile, they've been here 10, 15 years. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
I mean, I am so sorry to hear that that's what your family has gone through.
For now, he's good. Right, for now he's good. We don't know. We don't know.
I don't feel safe at all. I don't feel safe at all. Not for any of my children either. I don't feel safe.
I mean, we have seen people with political opinions that the administration does not agree with, essentially disappeared because of that, even though they are legal citizens of this country. So, I mean, anyone with a green card, it doesn't mean the same thing that it used to.
Right. And it's not even about politics at this point. It's about morals and it's about being human. Politics it's not even a politics. It's about control. It's about hate. It's about morals. It's about inhumanity. That's their political stance at this point. What the worst they can do, they're doing it. It's like, I don't even know how they sleep at night. I don't know how they sleep at night.
That was what I was just going to say. I mean, we saw Geo Group owns Delaney Hall in New Jersey, which is the immigration detention facility that Mayor Ross Baraka was arrested at. Core Civic runs another facility also in New Jersey, very close to Delaney Hall.
Yeah, you follow the money. It's always somebody's always making money.
Yeah, I mean, Geo Group in particular, they are set to make $60 million in revenue each year from the operation of Delaney Hall. So, just so that people kind of, understand what that means, that means that they are making $60 million a year on detaining people.
Right.
And we know that these facilities are, we heard about Alligator Alcatraz. People are being, according to reports, people are being fed once a day, spoiled food.
Selling merch. They're not making enough money. They're selling merch off the pain and suffering of other humans.
Yeah, and I guess I would just say, it is racism. It's for sure racism, but there's another layer to it. They are able to, people in, at the top are able to exploit people's racism to make money, and it just adds another layer of cruelty.
What has an immigrant ever done to you? Have they not given you a raise because you asked for a raise? No, it's your multimillionaire boss that wouldn't give you a raise and makes you work 10 hours a day, Immigrants never did anything to you. I've never been screwed over by an immigrant. I've been screwed over by plenty of millionaires, though, So.
Do either of you have any other final thoughts on why you're out here today?
Thank you for spreading the news. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's our pleasure.
For the work you're doing.
It is our pleasure. We're happy to. We're very happy to. All right. Thank you both so much. I appreciate it. And I hope, your whole family stays safe.
Thank you.
God is good.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
Very nice.
All right, 1 second, guys. Again, I'm going to drink some water, and then we'll move on to the next interview while, again, we're waiting for the march to start.
Closer. They might have a few seconds.
Hold on 1 second, John. There's someone over here that I'll come back to. I just want to take a drink of water first.
where I find my group.
I'm sorry, John. Can you hold this for just like 1 second? I'm just struggling to put this back.
Mic check. Mic check. All right, you don't have to repeat after me this anymore, but just to reiterate, thank you all for coming out. We're going to be stepping off around 6 from the south end of Foley, but we have a special treat beforehand. The only things I want to go through is if you need flowers or signs, come to this side of the stage and you can grab a few. If you haven't seen the flyer that says Good Trouble Lives On, I have a few left. Try to find somebody in the crowd who does. It'll tell you we're going to march. There'll be a moment where you're asked to sit down briefly, and then we're all going to leave our flowers, our signs, our photographs at the barricades surrounding the plaza. You'll wind up back here. All right? But before all of that, a very special treat. The Resistance Revival Chorus is here and is going to sing a little song for us. You'll also hear them later on when they'll lead us in the song We Shall Overcome during the sit-in. So without further ado, here they are.
She must have moved on somewhere, so we'll look for someone else.
What's that? Yes, I remember you. Yeah, hey. How are you? Good to see you again.
You're going to think I'm insane.
Why? You're trying to set me up right now. Okay, hold on. We're live right now. We'll talk.
As a tool for change. We're here in solidarity. We'd like to share a couple of songs with you, but first wanted to really get some of our demands. When I say ours, because we are united in our demands. So please repeat after me.
All right. As you heard, John has fans. So the woman that I was going to interview is not around here, so we're going to move on. We will find other people to talk to while we're waiting.
Civil and human rights for all. Civil and human rights for all.
Excuse me. We're with Status Coup, and I'm just walking around trying to get a sense of why people showed out
This first song
today
is a
for this
reminder of
protest.
how we
Would you
try
want
to
to
wake
tell
up with
viewers of Status
intention.
Coup why you came out?
Sure.
Cool. Okay. I'm Ashley, by the way. We'll do it quietly since there's some singing going on.
I came out because I support John Lewis, and I came out because I am opposed to the ICE abductions that are going on around the country.
A very succinct reason to show up today. And John Lewis's, his whole mantra, his phrase that he coined was "Good trouble." Do you have any thoughts about, showing up for these protests? There's been a lot across the country. We had the No Kings Day protest. We had the Hands Off movement, those protests as well. Do you feel like these protests have been effective?
Obviously not. I mean, every time I turn around, I hear bad news on the TV about what's going on in this country. When coming from someone who is an immigrant himself, I don't think that the way they're treating people today really represents America and who we stand for.
Do you have any other thoughts for viewers of Status Coup about why you're here today and this moment that we're in right now?
I think we really do need to change this country. I think we're heading in the wrong direction, and I'm just here to have my voice heard and kind of raise my hand in support of what's going on.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, there ain't no harm with your mind. Stand on freedom. Ain't no harm with your mind. Stand on freedom. Ain't no harm with your mind. You know that. Stand on freedom. Hallelujah. 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 Walking and talking with my mind. Stand on freedom. Walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on freedom. Walking and talking with my mind, you know that. Stayed on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Come on now, walk, walk. Let me see you. Walk, 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 walk. With your mind on freedom. Walk, 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 walk. With your mind on freedom. Oh, come on now, walk, 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 walk. And I'm singing and shouting with my mind. Stayed on freedom. Singing and shouting with my mind. Stayed on freedom. Singing and shouting with my mind. You know that. Stayed on freedom. Hallelujah. 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 All right, we hear you. We hear you walking and talking. This next song was inspired by the words of Ella Baker, because we who believe in freedom cannot what? What was that? We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Come on now. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Until the killing of black men, black mothers, sons is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers, sons. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Come on now. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Not needing to clutch for power, not needing the light just to shine on me. I need to be just one in a number as we stand against tyranny. To me, young people come first. They have the courage where we failed. If I can just shine a light on as they carry us through the gale. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Come on now. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. I'm a woman who speaks in her voice, and I must be heard. At times I can be quite difficult. I'll bow to no man's word. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom, we cannot rest. 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 We who believe 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 in freedom We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. One more time. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. All right, I got a little carried away. We are, and we are so proud to stand here with you today, and we will be back for a couple more. All right, stay hydrated, stay together. All right, everybody, give it up one more time for the Resistance Revival Chorus. Come
All right, guys. Just a few more minutes before the march is scheduled to start.
As an overview, if you haven't seen the flyer that says "Good Trouble Lives On" it, it's going to tell you that we're going to step up towards the south at 6. It's coming up fast. RSC is going to sing us out that way, right? Our marshals are going to lead us in a march around, and you'll eventually make your way back to Foley, but not before you'll see the march ahead of you begin to sit, all right? And when you see those ahead of you begin to sit, if you are able, we're going to take a brief moment of silence, seated in our streets, to stand in solidarity with our neighbors who are being kidnapped off of them. All right? And when RRC will be
All right, we're just moving to a better spot to wait for the march to start.
if you hear it sing along too, it's a hymn, it's not a performance for you all. I don't care if you can't carry the tune, it's about staying in it together.
Would you want to tell viewers of Status Coup, where I am reporting from, about your sign and why you're here today?
What is Status Coup?
Status
Sorry.
Coup, we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. We cover a lot of protests and rallies and that kind of stuff.
No, sorry.
Feel free to give it to somebody who does
I work for the city.
We
I
ran
just
out
want to
fast, which is a great thing,
Sorry.
because look at how many people have already turned out. More and more are coming on a Thursday night after work. Thank you, everybody, for being here. RRC will be back, I will be back, and we're going to march out soon, all right? Thank you, guys.
Sign.
Good Trouble in Melts Bad. That's a good one.
You guys are Status Coup?
We are.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I don't know.
Hey, I am with the outlet Status Coup. We're going around just talking to people about why they should. Okay, would you want to tell people about your sign and why? Not really. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
This lady over there has to stand on the box.
Alright guys, I know we're getting static. I'm going to see if I could fix that. Give me 1 second. Alright, hopefully that's a little bit better. right, so maybe another 5 minutes and the protest will start marching. Please like, share, and subscribe. In the meantime, we're waiting for Ashley. Okay, here we go. She's got somebody for an interview. 1 second. Excuse me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Can I squeeze by? Thank you.
You're in good company here. So again, you are speaking with Ashley of Status Coup. I am speaking with Sinan. Why are you out here today? In remembrance of John Lewis, in the spirit of good trouble, what made you want to come out?
Yeah, well, I'm actually Kurdish from Iran, and I experienced what is so-called a cultural revolution in Iran. That meant Iranian universities were purged. Basically, in the discourse of the Iranian government, cleansed of academics, students, thousands lost their jobs, even their lives. They went to prison. And that still continues, which is the main reason I came to study in the U.S. I wanted to be free, and now I'm horrified to see the same freedoms that I basically spent my entire life, the very English I speak. I love to learn English because for me, it was the language of freedom. And now when I see all those freedoms are being taken away, I'm horrified. And I actually wrote about what happened in Iran and the significance of academic freedom. So John Lewis is a source of inspiration, I think, for all of us. We should really have millions here. Yeah, but thank you for your question.
Yeah, I guess I would just ask a couple follow-ups. So you are originally from Iran. I have spoken with several people, just at this protest today. We're all talking about the idea that we're kind of, we are headed backwards in this country. And as you're saying, you came from Iran to escape the very thing that is happening here right now. Do you have any other thoughts for people about the fact that you have already lived through this? You know the signs, you know what it looks like, feels like, and you escaped that to come here. And now we're seeing the same thing here. And other people have noted, it feels like to them that this is a, second civil rights movement, that we have already been through that. We have won these rights, and now they're all being taken away. Do you have any other thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. I talked about Iran. I talked about, history. History always has lessons for us, but history also has traps, has limitations. So people talk about this is the second civil rights movement. People talk about this is a new McCarthyism. I would say it's actually far worse than McCarthyism. What we see, it actually never happened in this scale, especially targeting universities. And my experience in Iran, we should also not exaggerate it. Iran, like any other country, has its own problems, but the U.S. also can get a lot worse. So my message for my comrades, my people, my neighbors, is any academic, any student, is do not let go of even 1 inch of your freedom, because you may not be able to get it back at all. Do not let the fearmongers to make you afraid of your neighbors. Stand up for your neighbors regardless of their language, their religion, their color of their skin. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I just want to, say again, kind of to underscore what you just said, you are correct. It is easier to fight for your rights, to prevent them from disappearing, than it is to get them back once they are gone. So for anyone who isn't out here right now, anyone who hasn't been involved in any of these, mass protests and isn't involved in any other kind of civil disobedience, any other actions, what would you say to them?
Yeah, what we do is totally peaceful, is exhilarating, is liberating, is emancipatory, and as John Lewis said, this is the example of good trouble. So we do what we can, and street protest is one of them. Writing is another one. Showing up to academic conferences is another one. Artist shows, anybody in their own capacity. Lawyers, academics, scholars, artists, teachers, members of community. So this is one of those examples. I hope we see more people. We are here to be welcoming of everybody. That the U.S. is great with all its people, with all immigrants, and people do not make decisions like immigration, seeking refuge lightly. Their lives are at stake, and they really face unbearable situations like I faced when our dorms were attacked. Over 6 students were killed by armed security forces, at the University of Tehran, when we were just demanding freedom and transparency. Yeah.
And I mean, it is interesting to be talking about this again in the context of U.S. relations with Iran right now. And as you're saying, you saw this in Iran. You directly experienced that, and now it is here again with the added context of how poor relations are with Iran right now.
Yeah, well, I have to be clear. The war that is war of aggression that has been happening against Iran over the past 2 months or so, it's in no way intending to bring freedom or democracy to Iranian people. So we totally oppose any unprovoked military aggression against Iran, especially targeting, killing innocent civilians. Close to 1,000 Iranians died, overwhelmingly civilians. So we totally oppose that. Any freedom, any democracy, any justice for Iranian people must be brought by Iranian peoples themselves through peaceful protests and acts of civil disobedience.
I would say the same for here. Anyone who sees what's happening, we need to be standing up for ourselves and our own rights here. Do you have any other final thoughts that you would want to add on any of this for viewers of Status Coup?
Yeah, I just want to go to Judith Butler, the eminent feminist theorist, queers theorist, who says that precarity is distributed unequally. And as a geographer, I'm particularly interested in distribution of anything, of wealth, of justice, injustice, freedom, unfreedom. So precarity is distributed unequally. And people of color, immigrants, LGBTQI people, trans people are particularly precarious, living precarious lives. So it's our duty, our responsibility to show up as bodies, showing solidarity, locking up arms in arms, and standing up for each other. Thank you for your work.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you speaking with us.
Well, I went down to the Supreme Court and I took back what they stole from me, took it back.
All right, so people are gearing up to start marching now. So we're getting a little bit closer to where everyone is, kind of congregated, and again, getting ready to march over to 26 Federal Plaza. So we are moving very slowly right now. And again, we were in front of Foley Square. The march right now is moving down Lafayette Street. front of the march right now, and it's turning onto Chambers Street. There's a fire truck coming from the opposite side of where the march is coming from, so everyone's kind of moving out of the way. If you have not yet liked, follow, and subscribe to Status Coup, you should do that right now. If you're not yet a member of Status Coup, you can join at StatusCoup.com/join for $5 a month, which is not very much and supports our on-the-ground independent journalism. I don't see any corporate media out here today covering this protest. I don't expect there to be any. There usually aren't. It's usually just John and I. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. The mic stand is high, so I think I'm holding it a little bit too high. Hopefully this is a little bit better. Again, if you're not yet a member, support our independent journalism at StatusCoup.com/join. It doesn't cost much to enable us to be out here on the ground covering these protests, covering rallies, to take trips like going to Alligator Alcatraz where we were last week. Like I've been saying, we are intending to go back as soon as we can. So you can help us to do that, to get back there, to continue doing independent journalism that actually matters by supporting us at StatusCoup.com/join.
Thank you.
Damn it, I'm too fat.
It's hard to get up there. It's too hot for that. All right, hopefully you guys are getting a good quasi-aerial view of the march right now. All right, and for those of you who are just joining us on the live stream, this is Ashley Bishop with Status Coup. John Farina and I are on the ground in New York City, where we are at a march for immigrant rights in New York City. The march just left a little while ago from Foley Square. Everyone is headed over to 26 Federal Plaza, where ICE has been operating out of for the last, not for the last few months. They're just there. So that is the, again, 26 Federal Plaza is the ICE building in New York City. This protest is, again, in support of immigrant rights and part of today's Good Trouble Lives On National Day of Action to mark the 5th anniversary of Congressman John Lewis's passing and his legacy of Good Trouble. And again, activists are holding a mass rally to fight Trump's attacks on immigrant New Yorkers. here is some more on the action today. This is from the press briefing sent out by the organizations who put together this march. Organizations like the New York Immigration Coalition, the Arc of Justice, and again, we spoke to the CEO of the Arc of Justice earlier. There's also Climate Defenders 50501 and Strong Economy for All. So this is from their press briefing on the march today. The action, held at the exact location where masked ICE agents have ripped hundreds of immigrant New Yorkers from their families, is a demand for Governor Hochul to take bold action and protect our city against the federal government's assault, including the passage of the reconciliation bill that guts critical safety net programs to funnel $170 billion into Trump's deportation machine. Advocates are calling on Governor Hochul to convene a special session in Albany to pass the New York for All Act to end collusion between ICE and local law enforcement. They're also urging Congress to create more pathways to citizenship for those who have long called America home and demanding the Trump administration uphold our constitutional right to due process. Additionally, advocates are calling for state and federal legislation to ban ICE agents from wearing masks and require them to identify themselves. As I said earlier, when we were talking about this, when John and I were covering 26 Federal Plaza, we saw ICE agents obviously masked up, and one of them was even joking around with another photographer about a paid photo op to take his mask off. So make of that what you will. Several representatives have introduced legislation to ban ICE from wearing masks during ICE raids. Dan Goldman and Adriano Espaillat introduced a bill in the House, and Senators Alex Padilla and Cory Booker did the same in the Senate. So there have been efforts to prevent ICE agents from wearing masks to protect their identity while they are disappearing people into the immigration system.
Put a sign that you like and we'll go to them.
If you see somewhere to get water out of it. Excuse me, I'm at Status Coup. I saw your sign and I wanted to see if you could explain to Status Coup viewers what the New York for All Act is.
I know it's only the bare bones that it would help prevent ICE, local cities from cooperating with ICE and require that people be read their rights when ICE takes them. But I don't remember all the other details.
Would you want to give the bare bones explanation for people who are just not at all familiar with that?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm Ashley, by the way.
I'm Esther.
Nice to meet you. So why did you show up, Esther?
Because I feel very strongly that I feel very strongly that America is heading in the wrong direction. We are slipping, and probably have already slipped, into fascism and autocracy. And regular people need to stand up and be counted at this point. ICE is committing human rights violations on a daily basis. People are missing. This is not who we should be. This is not who America is. Well, rather it is, but it's not who we should be. You know.
I've spoken with quite a few people today, and the common theme, which makes sense, we are here for a day of remembrance of John Lewis and good trouble and all of that. What I'm hearing is that people feel, especially older people who have been part of the civil rights movement and remember the civil rights movement, feel like we are returning back to that time, that the rights that we won during the civil rights movement, maybe we didn't fight for them hard enough. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, I'm a history teacher, and this is the playbook that has been existed since time immemorial. People have to know that this playbook is trying to turn people against each other, use bigotry and scapegoats to hide the real grab for power and wealth. We're heading... They were not joking. They're trying to make America great again in their eyes, but in their eyes, it's when people didn't have rights. It's when the robber barons controlled everything. They are just trying to bring us back to that time to benefit a small group again. And it's gross. It is gross what they are doing. It is gross what we seem to be okay with. But it's time to fight back peacefully.
As a history teacher, do you have any advice, any thoughts on how we can fight back? What is effective, right? As far as the history of social movements go, what is an effective way to fight back? How can people be engaged?
So I think that these protests, every protest helps. I think that how they're fighting back in Los Angeles is helping. I think that social media has changed the game in a way because it's easier for people to spread messages and to organize on the fly if they have to. People have to be willing to be uncomfortable, and people with privilege have to be willing to speak out, because it's going to take all of us uniting to fight this. Good trouble. John Lewis is right. Good trouble. And for every step forward, there's going to be steps backwards, but we can never, ever give up, because that's what they want.
Thank you so much, Esther. I appreciate your thoughts.
Luis is one of the missing or deported, kidnapped by ICE people who have been denied their due process. This is such a human rights violation. We don't know where half these people are. The fact that we allow ICE to be masked, we have no idea if they have been deputized or if they're just racist Proud Boys who are kidnapping people off the street and disappearing them. We have no idea. That should not be allowed. We should not have a secret police in the United States of America. But again, if the GOP is in love with Putin, we're taking a page out of his playbook, I guess.
It would seem that there are some major moments in history,
yes,
where we have seen the same sort of thing happening in other countries.
Yes, every empire that has risen has fallen. And if we are not careful, we could be, we're a baby nation. We're only a couple hundred years old. Roman Empire, the Roman Republic fell. Roman Empire fell. Nazi Germany, Stalin, over and over and over again. Totalitarianism has risen. Eventually it falls, but it takes people fighting back. It's not going to happen by itself.
Thank you so much, Esther. Appreciate it.
Up? Do you want to go backwards?
Yeah, when they said sit down, I said, wait a minute, you have...
I think like 2000.
people about why they showed up today. Would you want to tell us why you're here?
She used to stand for liberty and all things, being an open country, accepting people in need, and that's not happening anymore. He's ripping our Constitution to shreds, and he's avoiding and ignoring the rule of law. He's insane. That's why I'm here.
And as far as, we are out here in remembrance of John Lewis, in the spirit of good trouble. Would you have thought that this is where our country would be
No
in
fucking
2020?
way. No fucking way. And you can quote me on that. It's blowing my mind. Thank you.
What would you say to people who haven't gotten involved, who are not organizing right now, but recognize that something is wrong?
What are you waiting for? Get up and do something. Until they make it illegal to protest, get in the street. That's what I'd say.
Thank you so much.
No, ma'am. Hands up. I'm the butterfly.
Thank you. Excuse me, sorry.
Which sign?
We can explain both sides.
Okay.
Both sides.
Yeah, I'm not. All I know is this sign was handed to me, so I don't have any details about it. But the problem is, we know that there are kidnapped people in ICE detention camps, both in the U.S. and in foreign countries, and we have no idea what the status of most of them are, including the ones in El Salvador and CCOT. We have no idea. They're basically locked up for life for no reason. The other sign was the immigrant sign, and the fact of the matter is, we know the data shows that most immigrants have less of a criminal background than most Americans do, and especially the guy that's in the White House, who has 34 felony convictions. So, yeah, that's why we're all out of here, making sure that not only are we protecting the Constitution, but we're also looking out for immigrants, which are really the backbone of the U.S.
And on that, why is it important to show up for immigrants? Why should anyone, if you are not affected by this, you do not have friends and family who are immigrants, right. Why is it important to show up anyway?
Yeah, and the bottom line there is that even though we might not be directly impacted by this, we will all be indirectly impacted by this. If there are no immigrants, there are no people doing many of the jobs that we need to have done here. If there are no immigrants, if they're all being deported, I don't know who's going to be collecting the food out of the farmlands and getting it to our grocery stores. So, yeah, and it just goes on and on. With immigrants have always been, we're all products of immigrants. So why should we slam the door behind us just because we got in?
And I mean, on that, I would ask another follow-up. We can kind of look back through history and see that in moments like this, there is always a first group. There's always a first group, and there will be more who follow. So if the administration is going after immigrants in this moment, right. It stands to reason that other groups of people will also be targeted after.
Completely agree. Any marginalized, disenfranchised group is going to be next on the list, whether it be tall people like myself, less tall people like you, it doesn't matter. The groups are going to be picked off one at a time. So the fact of the matter is we can't let it happen to anybody, because if it happens to anybody, it can happen to us. We already know that there's been raids in California where American citizens have been swept up, kept for multiple days, 3-4 days at a time. No due process, no right to an attorney, nothing. So, yeah, can it happen to us? Yes, it can. And in fact, in many cases, it already has.
Yeah, we were covering Alligator Alcatraz a couple weeks ago. We were down there. I spoke with an immigration lawyer yesterday who has a client in Alligator Alcatraz, and, she is unable to reach her client. I mean, she was able to eventually, but it took a lot of effort on her part to be able to do that. So, to your point, people are being disappeared into these centers. We know in Alligator Alcatraz reports, Miami Herald did a really great report on conditions inside, about lack of food, and the food that they're getting is spoiled. They are, there's one toilet for like 32 people that are in one like caged off area.
The absolute minimum in terms of sanitation, food, any kind of quality of life, they are not getting it. You're exactly right, yes.
And those are people that, again, most of them don't have criminal records.
Exactly, right. No criminal records, but they're being swept up in this Stephen Miller desire to get anybody with a brown color out of his country. And we're not going to let it happen. I'd rather see Stephen Miller shipped on a leaky boat anywhere in the world than to get rid of most of these immigrants.
Okay, so in the spirit of good trouble, one last question for you. Yeah. For anyone who is watching and has not gotten involved in any way, but they can see that something's wrong, what do you recommend? What do you think we should all be doing?
Well, I would say start by watching Rachel Maddow I think it's Tuesday night or Monday night, whenever she's on. Watch her show, because you will see these protests going on all over the country. Small towns, big towns, wherever. 5 people on the side of the road with signs. It's happening all over. So watch and see what's happening. Don't watch the mainstream media, because you don't get a lot of this, but watch shows like Rachel Maddow, and then just open your ears and listen and come out to anything that you see. Or if you see one, stop, ask some questions. Hey, how can I get involved? See you out here next Saturday, whatever it might be. But yeah, this is the time to get involved before it becomes us.
It is easier to defend our rights than it is to get them back.
To get them back,
when they're
yes,
changed.
Exactly right, yes.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Okay, thanks for coming out.
All right. So I would just say, if you are going to watch anyone, maybe instead of Rachel Maddow, you can watch Status Coup. Just saying, I don't see Rachel Maddow out here. You guys all know my views on all of that. So I won't say anything further right now, but yeah, watch Status Coup.
Sure. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, you hang around. Yeah, I just met a friend. So yeah.
You made a friend at a protest. That is lovely.
Yeah, I'm a minister here.
I love that. I'm Ashley.
Hi, Jonathan.
Jonathan, nice to meet you. So I'd be happy to talk to both of you. So I'll start with Carl. Why did you show up today for the protest for immigrant rights?
Well, the question's out to me, doesn't it? We have to
see the recording.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm a minister, and our migrant and immigrant brothers and sisters and loved ones in the trans community, they're part of this nation. They're the blood of this nation. And I can no longer sit back, well, not that I ever have, but I want to make it visual and be part of a solution, be part of something that's proactive. I was saying to my brother here, we don't see a lot of black people here, unfortunately. I mean, if you look around, there's not a lot of black people. That's very sad. And so how do you kind of correct that? Well, you black person, you show up. You just our migrant brothers and sisters, not only are they being disappeared at the acts of cruelty, harmful cruelty, but it's also illegal. It's blatantly illegal. So we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can protest cruelty and illegality. And again, if we can complain and cry all we want to, but unless we really want to put our bodies and our feet where our mouth is, nothing will ever shift. And this is a great visual representation of what can happen when people are like-minded. And I say this again for my beloved black community. We don't have the privilege to tap this out. We don't. We accuse white people of tapping out for 400 years. We can't tap out this, even though we're exhausted, it's tiring, but this is an issue. We have to be with everybody. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on, but you've got to forgive me,
No, that was great. Jonathan, why did you show up tonight? What was your reason?
I have always believed that America is for everybody. Anybody who identifies with freedom and justice for all, America is supposed to be a home for you. And it's supposed to be a refuge for you. And what we're seeing, which really has been, something that has been growing throughout our history and is kind of coming to a head today. We can't be complacent because we can watch streaming at home, have our food and groceries delivered to us, and we can enjoy how life is easy if we just play along. The only reason we have anything good is because people did what we're doing today for hundreds of years, or even thousands of years, in many more dangerous and difficult situations. And we have to honor what their service was to our current generation and make sure we're doing our part today and every day for the next generation and to secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity, as is in our Constitution. So I'm here today because we all have to do our part marching, and then when we're not marching, all the other work that goes into it. If we want our republic, we have to keep it, and this is how we keep it.
Essentially, my brother here, I came along, he came along, and we just met and began rapping. We're like-minded people, and we've crossed the gulf of race, but we can do this. But it's I'm sorry, I'm rambling on, but I feel very impassioned about this. Yeah.
No, go ahead. We're happy to hear any other thoughts that you have about any of this, and why more people should be showing up.
Well, I said earlier, I do believe there is a fatigue factor, and there's a historical fatigue factor, and many feel as though they've done their bit for king and country and want to take some time off. And even while they are some are being impacted by cruelty and policy. And so what we have to do in various ways is to witness and to communicate that this can be, it's tough, but it can be a joyous thing. I met a human being who I didn't know today, and we shared some sacred stuff and some text, and that's a symbol of what can be done when you just don't tap out and just step out of the comfort zone just a little bit. Humanity brings you in. This humanity, it brings us in. And I think sometimes communities are just tired. They're afraid. Some people are afraid of showing up because they may get disappeared. I respect that. I do that. I totally see that. Pastorally, I see that. But there's something must transcend that fear. And I think it's community. I'm really big on community. One reason why I think other communities are sold on cruelty and grievance is because they feel as though they have a place to go. That's fine. That's American. That's democracy. But so do we. This is proof positive of a place to go to express an idea, to be part of a solution. I mean, I say that ad nauseum, but we're extending community. I think it's just extended my community with him, with you, with the cameraman, and it's very, very important. And we have to start. And we can't, I don't want to get to a point in 100 years where different communities tap out. White race, y'all handle this, and black race. No, we have to sort of, when there's an ally break, rebuild it. Just rebuild the damn thing. That's all you got to do. And that's sort of so we're here for me, and this is the witness. We're rebuilding allyship for the greater good. We're all human beings. This is a human family. I'm so saddened that we're so fractured, but I get it. We're human beings. We've been fractured for thousands of years, but we don't have to stay that way.
Thank you so much. Any final thoughts that either of you want to add for viewers of Status Coup about the importance of showing up and not being complacent? Rights can be taken away. Just because we have won them doesn't mean that we don't have to continue fighting for them. So any other final thoughts on that and good trouble?
Let's just keep making good trouble and make the most of it.
That about says it up. Yeah.
Thank you both so much. Really appreciate it.
What is your name again? Ashley? Pleasure. Status Coup.
Status
okay.
Coup, yep.
Yeah, if I would love to have a minister. I'm trying to get my congregation involved. I mean, it's immigrants are under attack. What do we do? When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Under attack, what do we do? When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? Move, right? Get out of New York. Get out of New York, right? Get out of New York. Move, right? Get out of New York, right? Get out of New York. Move, right? Get out of New York, right? Get out of New York. Move, right? Get out of New York. Move, right? Get out of New York.
Get out of New York!
Shut it down! Shut it down! I saw your flower sign. If you can get your thoughts on why you showed up here today.
Oh, sure.
Cool.
This may not be the right spot. Yeah.
Do you mind walking and talking?
No, it's okay.
I got it right.
See you later.
Oh, you're good. Do you mind walking and talking for a minute?
I don't mind at all. I just can't do it with this right now. Yeah.
Away from the drums. Over here is okay? Okay, so we'll walk alongside the protest for a minute so we can get away from the drums a little bit so that we can actually hear each other talking. So I'm Ashley, by the way.
Hi, Ashley. I'm Alana. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So Alana, I saw your flower sign. I thought it was very nicely painted. Very, very nice work of art for the protest. Why did you show up today in support of immigrant rights?
Yeah, I think I showed up today because immigrants are truly what make America great. I think the way that we are treating other fellow human beings who, number one, for the most part, are just trying to seek a better opportunity for themselves and their families. And number two, work a lot of jobs that we need, flat out, even if you just don't want to talk about the humanity part of things, just from an economic standpoint. It benefits the U.S. economy immensely for immigrants to come here and form beautiful, loving families and, all that. And in terms of just what's happening right now with Alligator Alcatraz and how dehumanizing, we're treating human beings, as an American Jewish woman, I am, I watch videos and hear the news about Alligator Alcatraz, and my brain cannot even compute what I'm seeing. And I looked at my husband the other day and I asked him what do we even do? I'm looking at just god awful actions that we're taking to essentially instill fear in American people of other people. And it just really breaks my heart, truly. And even just from a local standpoint in New York City, immigrants are the blood of New York City. And I just think it's so important that we take a second to really think about how history is repeating itself and what can we learn from the past. That's all I have to say.
I guess I would just kind of yes and a lot of what you said. I don't know all of these ICE raids and spreading fear amongst immigrant communities actually even helps MAGA, right? If the kind of the whole purpose of their government has kind of become to reduce inefficiency, supposedly, reduce government waste, all that kind of stuff. I don't see how removing immigrants who, as you said, work the jobs that are, low paying. I mean, they're exploited workers. They work jobs that other people do not work. I don't see how that helps even their goals.
No, absolutely agreed. And frankly, I don't think that, more right-wing conservative folks are considering if you only just want to think about economics and not the humanity of anything that we're doing, it is economically, I'm just going to say it, stupid to not want immigrants here and for more immigrants to come to America. If you even want to go as far as to say we have, a quote-unquote fertility crisis, which I don't like using that term, but, you see it a lot in the media where our fertility rate in this country is decreasing. And frankly, we need more people, and these folks are building their families here, and why shouldn't they be able to? And frankly, something we need to consider and think about is, if we want people to legally immigrate here, then the folks that are here illegally should have an easy way right now to become legal citizens. But we're not doing that. Instead, we are instilling fear, and we're using them as essentially a scapegoat for, just xenophobia, frankly.
Yeah, and those immigrants who are trying to do it the right way, who are showing up for their court hearings, they are being punished. We have seen, ICE agents stationed out at 26 Federal Plaza, where we are going right now. We have seen ICE agents stationed outside of immigration court, detaining people right as their cases are dismissed. It seems like now they're just kind of waiting there for people to show up for their hearings. So as you're saying, these are people who are trying to go through the legal channels to get citizenship, and instead of allowing them to do so, we are detaining and deporting them. And, just to add, there's a lot of money to be made in these detention centers. A lot of, companies like Geo Group and CoreCivic, they make a lot of money. Delaney Hall in New Jersey, which I'm sure you saw, that's where Mayor Ross Bronco was detained by ICE. They're expecting to make $60 million in revenue per year on operating Delaney Hall by detaining people there for however long.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely deplorable what we're doing. And even if we just want to talk about, for example, Brad Lander coming to escort, an immigrant from their hearing, and the fact that we are just having normally clothed people where we can't identify them, and he was asking a very simple question, do you have a warrant? Are you allowed to do this? You're not wearing a badge, you're not wearing the correct uniform, and nobody would answer. And I just frankly think that all of this is instilling so much fear in the public, and that is the point. And I'm afraid, so.
I mean, anyone who is an immigrant themselves, has immigrants in their lives, people that they love and care about, should be afraid. Because you don't know how far this is going to escalate, and it's kind of, it's incumbent upon us to be doing what we can to put a stop to it before it gets any further. I guess I would ask, we are at a march right now. We are marching to 26 Federal Plaza. What would you say to people who have not yet gotten involved? And I guess I would also want to ask, do you feel like these mass protests have been effective?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that question. So number one, I think that I am a co-leader of a local Indivisible chapter. I'm a co-leader of Indivisible Western Queens, and my friend and I started the chapter essentially because we wanted to do something constructive in the face of, fear and the unknown. And to be honest, I was reflecting with her recently, what has been the biggest plus that you've noticed so far in yourself and in our community and in our group since we started this. And we both resoundingly said, just getting to know our neighbors and having a sense of community and understanding their fears and being able to share in that and work towards something together. And a lot of us are actually here together today. And I think even the simple act of getting to know, if I can tell anyone listening or watching this anything, it's get to know your neighbors, even if it's something small, even if it's something like, hey, I made some pasta and I have some extra sauce lying around, like, do you want it? Or, you know, and I've done things like that. And I think that that is such an anti-fascist thing to do, to get to know your neighbors and form coalitions, form even, you know, acquaintances with people in your neighborhood. And, you know, a lot of those people inevitably are immigrants, because immigrants are what make up the United States of America.
I think that that's great. You know, we've talked to a couple other groups of people who had said, like, oh, we just met today. We just met today, and this is, you know, part of why these things are important to make community. And, you know, to your point, it is an anti-fascist activity. It is an antidote also to the kind of alienation, let's say, of modern life. We are so fractured, and as you're suggesting, people don't know their neighbors. I don't know mine. I live in an apartment building in Manhattan. I don't know my neighbors.
In fact, a funny anecdote to that is when I introduced myself to my neighbor, and actually the story I just told about the pasta is what I did to introduce myself. And in fact, he said, "You're definitely not from New York, right? Because you're like way too nice and like way too much hospitality." And I'm like, "No, I'm a born and bred New Yorker."
And more of us should be doing that. More of us should be doing that. And
it's hard to break the ice. Yeah.
It absolutely is. Any other final thoughts that you would want to add for viewers of Status Coup about any of this?
All I can say is, even if you're a little nervous and you haven't been to a protest before, you've never organized before, just show up. Honestly, anytime I've shown up to one of these things, I meet someone new. I have a great conversation like this one. And it's just great to connect with your fellow New Yorkers, wherever you are.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Have
Great talking to
you.
you.
You too. All right, so we are at 26 Federal Plaza now. The march has arrived here. So everyone who was instructed to bring flowers, they're putting the flowers in the chain link fence in front of 26 Federal Plaza. So flowers and signs. Again, for everybody who is following us on the live stream, first of all, thank you for following us today. I hope that you're enjoying our coverage of the protest on the ground in New York City and the press briefing that was held beforehand. Had some good speakers there. Gwen Carr, Eric Garner's mom was there. A couple of women whose sons have been detained or kidnapped by ICE. They were there as well speaking. So if you have been watching and you haven't done this yet, please like, follow, and subscribe to Status Coup. Also, if you are not a member, maybe this is your first time watching, please support our work. Please support our on-the-ground work of covering protests, rallies, all of these things across the country. You can do that by becoming a member at StatusCoup.com/join for as little as $5 a month. It doesn't cost much. We want to continue covering these protests. We want to continue doing our on-the-ground trips. We were in Alligator Alcatraz a couple weeks ago. We want to go back. We want to do more of that, not just Alligator Alcatraz. We want to cover other events that are going on across the country. So you can support that for very little. It doesn't cost very much to support us, but it does help us out quite a bit. So if you can, please join us at StatusCoup.com/join. All right, again, we are in front of 26 Federal Plaza. in New York City. John wants to make sure that I tell you guys that this is 26 Federal Plaza is the ICE detention center in New York City, the makeshift detention center that they have here. Immigration court is held here. About a month ago, John and I were outside of immigration court watching ICE agents who had stationed themselves there, pulling people after their court hearings had been dismissed. So that is what happens there. Again, there's also a makeshift detention center at 26 Federal Plaza.
Doing the sit-in.
All right, so looks like they're having a sit-in in front of 26 Federal Plaza again, the ICE Center in New York City. So again, protesters are blocking the road in front of 26 Federal Plaza and holding a sit-in. So as you guys can see, protesters are having a moment of silence right now. Again, while blocking the road in front of 26 Federal Plaza. Okay, very brief moment of silence, brief sit-in in front of 26 Federal Plaza.
so sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I understand. How about you? Would you want to tell people?
No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope you get lots of people who say yes.
It is okay. Thank you so much. I'm going to be on the Status Coup. I'm just going to go around doing interviews and ask people why they showed up today. Well, we're kind of like idling here. Would you want to tell people why you showed up?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, hold on. Bring her.
Hi.
She can talk. She can talk for ICT. She's our. They want to know why we
I'm
show
with Status Coup.
ICT show.
I'm just going around doing interviews to see why people showed up today in support of immigrant rights. Would you want to talk with us?
Could we maybe follow up with you after?
Yeah, you can definitely follow up with us after. Sure. I'm Ashley, by the way.
Nice to meet you. I'm Inakwe.
I'm sorry.
And you're from
Status Coup.
Status Coup. Okay, I'm the New York policy manager.
Okay. Yeah, no, we would.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Yeah, we just thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, to be honest, we decided to come out here. We're one of the...
We were live, just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Inakwe Omoragba, and I'm the New York policy manager at African Communities Together. We chose to come out here today. We are actually one of the sponsors, along with other organizations like NYC, Mixteca, etc. It's time for change to come. It's enough of this, injustice and things like that. Very often, African immigrants, we are, oftentimes our issues are unheard. So we wanted to make sure everyone heard our voices. And, we're here to support everyone else. It's not just an immigration issue. We're also seeing issues with race and things like that, too. So we're happy to be at the forefront and, to continue to make some noise here.
Why would you say it's important to show up for immigrants in this moment?
Yeah, we've always been fighting for issues that impact immigrants. As I said, we are a national membership organization by and for African immigrants and dedicated to fighting for economic opportunity, access to civil rights, etc. We think that we need to pay attention to immigrants right now because I think a lot of Americans are just not paying attention to the fact that, our voices are not being heard. A lot of injustice is taking place. People are being picked up off the street and, when they're going to do their hearings here at Federal Plaza, et cetera, and it's not right. It's not right. So that's why we think it's important.
And I would just add, the people who are showing up to immigration court are trying to go through the legal channels. They are doing their best to do the things that supposedly they're supposed to do. And, they show up and instead of being able to continue with their cases, they're being detained by ICE.
Right now I'm especially thinking about asylum seekers, right? There's certain processes that they have to go through to ensure that they are, paying attention to the rules that are there, right? They're supposed to tell people the issue that they experience in their country and why they need to be here in the United States. They need to come and, attend every single one of their hearings, etc. People are coming to do that and being pulled out by ICE here. A lot of the ICE, officers, they're wearing masks. They're not allowing anyone to see their face. Who do you say hurt you? Who do you say, did this? So there's definitely an imbalance here that's happening in terms of power, and we don't stand for that. So that's why we're here with everybody else today.
And I would just add, it seems like a privilege to be able to protect your face, to protect your identity, while you're, disappearing people into an immigration system that is not, let's say, not functional.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I was just commenting on the fact that, they're able to wear masks. They're able to protect themselves and their identities to protect themselves from any kind of backlash. Whereas, someone that they're picking up off the street or someone that they are, snagging outside of immigration court is not able to do that same thing.
Yeah, and we've always been fighting for immigrants. We have other campaigns that we're working on right now, like when 2022, when thousands of, asylum seekers came into New York City, we were at the forefront. We led a sit-in in front of the Gracie Mansion and things like that to tell people that we need to make sure that we give people a place to stay and the fact that New York has always been a sanctuary city and a space that has always supported people's right to shelter. So it's not a surprise that we're here right now and that we're a part of this movement also. We've always fought for immigrants, so this is an extension of the work that we've always been doing.
Any final thoughts on why it's important to show up in this moment?
Well, look, it's hot and people are out here because they believe in the issues that we're working on right now. So if anybody's at home and wondering how do I get involved, be outside in the streets with us too. We're waiting for you. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Okay, like she said, it's really hot. It's been very hot. I wasn't feeling it so much in Florida. John had asked me one day when we were in Florida how I was dealing with the heat, and it was not affecting me. Today, it seems extra hot in New York City, but again, a lot of people showed up anyway. We are out here. It looks like the protest itself is starting to disperse, but we're going to hang around for a little while, so hang tight with us. We are here.
If you choose to stay behind, please clear the streets. Traffic will begin.
And again, this is the fence in front of 26 Federal Plaza where protesters have left flowers and signs.
We need to get out of the street. Get out of the street.
Everyone, they're going to open the street pretty soon. We've got a bus coming down. Please move. Thank you.
So some of these signs, if you can't see them as they're passing, Immigrant Hands Built America, Disappeared by Trump, No Kings, Yes, Good Trouble, Human Dignity is Sacred, Kidnapped by ICE, Thousands Unknown, Suicide in ICE Custody, Brian Rayo Garzon, Get Taco Gestapo off our streets. I don't love the Taco Trump thing, but there you go. Get Taco Gestapo off our streets. There's also another one, Close the Camps, with a picture of an alligator.
Careful, the traffic's coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, traffic's coming through. Just be mindful.
I know. Thank you. All right, some of the signs are facing the other direction, so those entering and leaving 26 Federal Plaza can see them. There's another Good Trouble, No Due Process, Our Duty to Throw Off This Government, Necessary Trouble.
Clear the street, everybody! They are about
All right, so as you can hear, we are being ushered forward. The street is reopening.
We're opening the street right now.
So some of the other signs, I Heart Immigrant New York, Love is Love, Fight Hate, Demand Justice, Defend Democracy, No Hate, No Fear, Immigrants are welcome here.
All right, we're good. Set them down.
You have to open up the road, I'm afraid.
Reopening 2 lanes of Broadway. Go ahead.
A little bit across there.
Back to Foley. Awesome.
We like our ice crushed.
You could cut it here if you want. If you want to do one more, just do something.
Yeah, let's do one more before we head out. All right, guys. The march again has kind of dispersed, but we are headed back to Foley Square. We're going to do maybe one more interview before we head out for the night. So hang on with us. We're not signing off just yet. Are they texting us? My phone is buzzing, but I'm not getting messages.
Thank you for your recording.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, thank you so much. Do you want to be our final interview for the day?
Thank you.
I do my job. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for your work.
Oh,
we
of
love
course.
you.
Like, thank you so much.
Can I give you a hug?
Sure, yes.
We love you, and I like, and like all the stuff that you did for Brad Lander, and like what you're doing. It really means a lot.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Do you want to be our final interview for today? Do you want to be on Status Coup and let people know why you showed up today?
Well, okay, but can you not show my husband? Because I don't want. Okay.
No, I'm okay with
I don't want to show you because.
Oh yeah, you can show me.
Totally up to you guys.
Yeah.
We can do.
Okay.
Federal Plaza.
All right, I will stand in the middle of you guys. Whatever you want. If you want to be on camera, you can. If not, then no worries.
We're totally fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll start with you. I'm sorry. What was your name?
My name's Amber.
Amber. I'm sorry. And your name?
My name is Ivan.
Ivan. Okay. Amber, why did you show up today? In support of immigrant rights.
It's heartbreaking what is happening in our country. Our country is a beautiful country, and like for people being kidnapped and put in a concentration camp with no rights, like I just like want to do everything that I can to get those people out of this gulag concentration camp, because it's really like, excuse my French, but it's fucked up. And I'm like deeply, it's really hard to sleep at night being an American, and just, it's really hard seeing this happening to people in our country when everything that is beautiful about our country is our multi-religions, multicultural, multi-faceted, like that makes America. And America is the world, and we welcome like Japanese, we welcome like our Muslim brothers and sisters, our Catholic brothers and sisters, our Jewish brothers and sisters. Like we are all one, and this is an experiment, and the American experiment is extremely challenged right now. George Washington like gave away his power to the presidency, and like Trump would never do this. Like he would never, like he is not American, and it's heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking, and I don't know, it deeply saddens me every day that we have to go through this and this administration. So yeah.
Yeah, and we've talked to a lot of people today about this kind of moment that we're in 6 months into Trump's presidency. Sorry, going to scooch over. And I've heard from a lot of people who are kind of saying like I could not have imagined that we'd be back here. I could not have imagined that we would be in this moment again, kind of, I don't know, repeating the civil rights movement, but also not really. I mean, this is a unique moment in and of itself. We are dealing with the same but also different things, like history rhymes. It doesn't necessarily repeat itself, all that stuff. So I guess I would just ask, could you have imagined that we would be here now in this moment?
Absolutely not. But I mean, he's going on the fascist playbook, and NPR is dramatically at risk. Like, thank God you're on Substack. We love what you do, and we're so grateful for what you do, and Democracy Now! And like it's but no, and especially like all those kids in Texas, like just drowning because the selfishness of like not funding FEMA and like our National Weather Service. I mean, it's just horrific.
Yeah,
this
is not good for anybody. This is not good for, I mean, I'm an immigrant. And I'm here because I appreciate and I support, obviously, what everybody's doing. But this is not helping the American people. This is not good for your country. This is not good
Everywhere,
for...
like,
Yeah, you need healthcare, you need work, you need education. Those are things that makes your country better. They don't make your country worse. So the fact that they are basically destroying this...
In our kind heart.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to immigrants. I mean, it doesn't matter, okay, you don't care about immigrants, it's fine.
We
But
do
at least
care
worry
about
No, I know you care. It's obvious that you do. But care about your country. Care about, what happened in Texas is horrible. And it could have been avoided by just taking care of the basic necessities.
All those kids would be alive
Yeah,
today.
you're not asking for extra or a different treatment that any other people deserve. I mean, so it's heartbreaking to see that this is happening.
And Mexico helped us, they risked their lives and to help the Texan people to get, and still they also are risking themselves from getting kidnapped from ICE, and we need to get all those people out of CCOT. We need to getting people out of third world countries that even Americans are banned from going to, Sudan and CCOT, this El Salvador prisons where they're inhumanely nobody in this world should be that. It's so disgusting. It is so disgusting. They're chained, they're shaved, we need to take care of each other. And even the news all over the world, our philanthropic soft power is eliminated. It doesn't even begin to imagine. And New York is a beautiful city. I just hope Zoran wins and he's the next mayor of our city, because Zoran, if you ever hear this, we love you and we love you, what you stand for, and you rock, and we need that.
Why they
more.
ask the question, what are we going to get the money for? They always ask, what are we going to get the money for, things that are going to help the working class, for example. They don't ask, when are we going to get the money for all the corporate cuts? Obviously, we need corporations, we need work, right? But if you don't have a working class, then nobody's going to be able to do that. And AI is not going to be able to replace everybody. So,
and the big evil bill that is giving this tax cut to the ultra rich, they don't even notice the money, and the people that can't even feed their families, and they can't even feed their children's, and you're gonna take that money away from these kids. We need to take care of each other.
Yeah, I mean, I would just yes and both of you, just to kind of note that while the bill is taking funding away from social programs, from Medicare, Medicaid, all of these things, we are also
hospitals in rural areas that are harming the MAGA people too. They will not get health care, and their babies, which they took away abortion rights, there's going to be babies that cannot be born, that mothers will be at risk.
Yeah, what is the point? I mean, shouldn't politicians to care about your people, to provide a way for them to live better? And it seems that they are doing the opposite. It seems that they are deciding to do the opposite thing.
It's all about money.
It feels like
it's so
it feels that their care is in the wrong place. It's like if you're not producing somehow in a way that they think it's valuable, which I don't understand the point of having a society if you don't care about them. I mean, without education, we were saying before, without education, you don't have people that is prepared. You don't have a new generations that can create new jobs and can create prosperity and take care of the people that were before. So, and that is possible. I mean, I'm European, so that is not, when you have healthcare for everybody,
you don't have to look at me how I dress. You don't have to dress gray or become a communist or become like something weird. You live your life. You go to work. You get sick. You go to the doctor, take care of you. You go back to be productive. So that is basic economy. That is not like a secret thing. And every time that they talk about that possibility, they talk about it like if we are talking about something totally like weird or out of. And what is strange for me is that in this society, in the United States, that is something that people, they should have it. Imagine what your country could do if you had that access. If you didn't have to worry about paying your bills for healthcare, right?
It makes us more productive.
Yeah, it totally makes you more. Even if you are a full capitalist, it makes you more productive. It's a way to take care of
even your staff.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. But
we really love you, and we really are so grateful what you're doing. Like all the time, we see the energy that you're putting out and getting the news out. Like what you're doing is really like profound, and we're so incredibly grateful to you, and that you like project live, and we just really thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you guys. We appreciate it. We are here to do this work. It's our pleasure. Yeah. We're happy to be out here. Can you tell, before we close out, we're going to close out with you guys. Can you tell viewers why they should be watching Status Coup and not watching Rachel Maddow, as an earlier protester told us?
Well, I mean, in my opinion, because you get what is really happening. You guys are down the street. You guys are here. We came here because we saw your video live.
Yeah.
That's why we came here. We live in the East Village, so
yeah.
So that's why you get the real thing. You get the real reactions. You don't get like political pundits like talking about ideas. Is you have people actually. We saw you. Yeah, we saw you interviewing this guy, and he talked about Rachel Maddow, for example, which is cool. It's fine. Yeah, no, he was very nice. What he said is moving for me. I mean, I'm an immigrant, so I appreciate him, right? But I think that we have to. Everybody has to make their own mind.
And you're really like out on the street, and you're right in like the top of the buzz. Like you're right in the mess of it, and you could have been arrested too with Brad Lander, but you weren't, thank God, and you're continuing to, like right now, if you can look at the federal building, it's all blockaded. ICE is in there. There's no way to protect the immigrants that are legally getting their INS papers due diligently. And there's no way to protect them while they're going through their process. And you were right there. And
yeah, you're here. If we want to know what's happening, you were there, so we can see what's happening.
And we see what you're doing.
Yeah, we can decide by ourselves if what is happening is right or wrong or whatever. But you just show what's going on. So that for us is, for me, press is someone that is showing me. This is happening. They don't have to make it look better or worse, or to create a narrative for me to believe it or not. This is what is happening. There is something. I will decide by myself if I think I'm against or in favor. So I think that I appreciate that you guys, for example, do that. So
and Americans care. We care. America has a beautiful heart, and we have a horrible history that we have to make up to. So many people, like the fact that slavery was in our country, we need to hold our elders, hold our elders, and they've suffered so much with slavery in our country, and we have to make it right. And this is totally the opposite.
Take care of your people. Take care of your people. If you don't care about immigrants or anything, take care of your people.
We do care about immigrants.
I know.
We are immigrants.
I know, but it's everything. There is so much stuff going on, and it's affecting your own people. So.
We should be taking care of everyone in this country. I think that's a great final note to end on, guys. Thank you both so much. I could not have said any of that better than they did. That is why you should watch Status Coup. Listen to them. They are correct. So again, we are going to sign off for tonight. We were sent super chats, so we're going to do super chats, and then we're going to sign off for tonight. Thank you guys so
Thank you,
much.
guys.
We really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
both
Have a good one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, bye, guys. They were very sweet. Okay, so we are going to do super chats. So like I said earlier in the beginning of the stream, I did get this text. My phone is buzzing this whole time. I got one text this whole time. I suspect that there are more that I missed. So, a struggle of the day, but here we go. Here are some super chats. And if it doesn't work on my phone, then we will just pull it up on John's. John, can we do it on your phone? My phone storage is so full that it cannot open up my mail now. So this will be remedied within the next couple of days, but for tonight, thank you. Okay, super chats. I care for you too. Says, stop ICE. I stand for freedom. Thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate it. Ellie, thank you for the $11.99. We appreciate it. Thank you. New YouTube members. Mary Huckabee, Master Shake. There's Mary Huckabee and Master Shake gifted 5 memberships, and Babajan. And new website members, Henry, Carrie, Aaron, and Susan. And I think that's it. I think that's it for now. If you've made it to the end of the stream and you have not followed, liked, subscribed to Status Coup, you should do that now. If you are not yet a member, you can join us at statuscoup.com/join for as little as $5 a month. The couple we just interviewed gave a better endorsement of Status Coup than I could. So listen to what they said. Again, you can support independent journalism that, like they said, is on the ground, talking to the people for as little as $5 a month. We have been pushing this since we came back from Florida. I'm going to do it again. John and I want to go back to Alligator Alcatraz. We have more plans. We have more stories that more leads that we uncovered while we were there. So more stories that we would like to follow up on. So we want to get back there as soon as possible. You can help us be able to do that. You can help us stay on the ground for longer there because it costs a lot to stay on the ground, to be there in person. Obviously, if we are on the ground there in Florida, we have a better pulse on what's happening. It's easier to do investigative work when you're on site. So again, you can help us by joining us at statuscoup.com/join. It doesn't cost much, but it does help us out quite a bit. It is hot. The protest has dispersed. It is over now. So we're going to sign off. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you all in the next video. Maybe not. All right. John says we have to keep going. All right, so there is NYPD over here, so we're going to go see what's going on over here before we sign off.
And outside
Okay, so NYPD with zip ties are walking toward Foley Square. So we're not going to sign off just yet. Okay. Okay, so we ran. It's hot. NYPD is announcing that they are going to arrest people. There are people in the road. Yeah, we are on Duane Street in front of the New York courthouse. And there are protesters blocking the road right here. And NYPD is coming in to arrest them now.
arresting officer to the prisoner transport vehicle or if you resist arrest, you will be charged with additional crimes. Since you have refused to leave the roadway, you will be placed under arrest on the charge of disorderly conduct. If you do not cooperate, you will be arresting officer.
They aren't disorderly, they're pretty orderly.
Or if you resist arrest, you may be charged with additional crimes. Since you have refused to leave the roadway, you will be placed under arrest on the charge of disorderly conduct. If you do not cooperate and accompany the arresting officer,
Extra more than you have refused to leave the roadway.
Why are these protesters being arrested?
No, next shot.
John. He can't hear me. John.
Why am I being arrested? Because ICE is kidnapping people every day in this building. We have to make this stop. They're kidnapping people every day. They're sending them to concentration camps. This is what we've been warned about for all of our lives, that we would not tolerate this. We're not tolerating this.
Thank you. And we missed it. You guys were blocking the roadway in front of the...
We were sitting... I can't. Not that.
You're good. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Get some conversation. Oh yeah, this is yeah. Registry court.
Suck my dick. Fuck you. Fuck you. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? All this fucking talk about arresting me?
He's on the sidewalk.
All this fucking talk about arresting me?
You're gonna push him on the sidewalk and arrest him? There's like 12
I stayed in the fucking street. You made a fucking cop pull me off.
Right.
I would still be there in the middle of the fucking street.
Maybe call 10 more. This is really threatening.
Those fucking people that went to jail, I didn't even get their fucking names. You fucking asshole. What do I gotta do? Hit one of you motherfuckers? Get close to me so I can hit you. Then you can arrest me. Alright? Come on.
Why is there like 12
You give me the evil eye with those behind those glasses? Fuck you guys.
Yeah, why do they all stand around him? He's on legal area.
He didn't put me in, pull me over here in the wheelchair. One of your fucking cops did.
What the fuck is this? Right, what the fuck?
Huh?
Can I take your photo?
What?
Can I take your photo?
Yeah. I'm mad.
Sir, can we ask what happened here?
No.
I'm sorry.
No, they threatened to arrest us. And I said, go ahead and arrest me. And they chicken shitted out. They took a bunch of other people here, but they had one of their cops pull me off the road so that I wouldn't be arrested. I want to be arrested because these guys should know fucking Ahmed, right here, Ahmed, should know fucking better. Trump put a Muslim ban on you people. You know that? Trump put a Muslim ban. He doesn't want you here.
So why did you show up here today initially?
This one.
If you don't. So for people who can't see, his shirt says "Fuck you" are on Indigenous land. So you showed up in support of Indigenous rights, which
I showed up in support of the immigrants. Okay, first of all, I'm Native, so they don't belong on here. They don't belong. All this land is Native American land. It's sovereign land. They're selling our public lands now, so that they can, for profit. They're selling them for oil companies and profit organizations.
We were in Florida a couple of weeks ago. We've been covering Alligator Alcatraz, and it's the same story down there as what you're saying right now. That the indigenous lands are being taken over, let's say, by these immigration detention centers and other things that you wouldn't want in your community to begin with. You especially would not want on an area that also includes like sacred indigenous lands.
The thing is, when we talk about our sovereign lands, this means there are sovereign lands. That means everybody should leave. But since that will never, ever going to happen, we have to continue to fight for the things we can fight. There's a land back fight, and it's actually working. There's small pieces of land that Native Americans know is starting to be given back to them. One of the biggest fights has gone on for as long as Sturgis, when Sturgis became a city, that is Lakota land. And the Lakota people offered $50 billion for that land, and they refused to take it. And Lakota people are the poorest Native American nation in the country. So regardless of what you think of Lakota people, regardless of the problems they have, regardless of the fact that they're infested with drugs, regardless of the fact that they're infested with drugs that are killing them, they still are not willing to give up their land, even for $50 billion. And that tells me something, I am not Lakota, but I practice one of their most sacred ceremonies. It's called Sundance. And I've been practicing it for 10 days. It's a pagan practice. We do flesh offerings in this dance. What we do is we dance from sunup to sundown for 4 days in a row. We're not allowed to eat food or drink because I have diabetes. I am allowed to eat sort of dry meats and things like that. No one has ever died from these practices. And I did this for 10 years. And every year, the pagan rite I did became more and more severe. I shouldn't be telling you because we don't tell this story because it sounds like bragging. I shouldn't be telling you the story because I want to impress you. That isn't what we do. This is personal to Lakota people and to people that do the Sundance. I have.
We appreciate you sharing it with us. I would want to ask, for viewers of Status Coup who may not be as familiar with the land back movement, you said that there have been some successes. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that? Some of the things that.
Okay, it's hard for me to tell you a lot of things in particular because I have dementia. So what's happened is I used to be very smart.
You sound very smart still.
Well, I'm not as smart as I used to be. I used to be able to give you dates, time and verse of a lot of different tribal things that have been affected from a lot of different tribes. What they did with Lakota people was they killed their food source, which was bison. And if you look at documentaries, you will see mounds and mounds of buffalo that were killed. That was everything that was on the buffalo is used.
There are some very famous photos of that. There's some very famous photos of that.
Yes. And then with the Navajo, what they did was they drove off goats. And what they did was there's very little water in Navajo. They redirected their water to go to different places. Now, do you know anything about Standing Rock?
I know Jordan, one of our reporters, he was out there.
Standing Rock. And it was one of the most incredible things. There were 10,000 Native American people, or there were 10,000 people from all over the world. The Maori were here. Black Lives Matter was there. And we held our ground. The way that works was we believe in prayer. So the young kids that were overexcited and wanted to fight, they were willing to fight. There were rows and rows of elders that were behind them, were praying for them. So that didn't happen to anybody. Nobody got hurt. Lots and lots of people got arrested. They did use water cannons on people when it was 40 degrees. They shot rubber bullets at people. And one girl got shot in the arm, and her arm had to be amputated. They had people that were going through the camp that were yelling stuff, and they were not our people. And they were trying to cause a stir. They were trying to make people think that they were going to come in. They hacked all our phones. So that what happened was that our phones would they would lose their power, and you would get like maybe 20 texts of the same text until your phone was out of phone. They did evil things like this. They dropped stuff.
Do you feel like, with everything that you outlined, do you feel like this is happening again, and that's part of why you showed up in support of immigrant rights today, just to bring it back to the protest right now, because there are still people outside of Foley Square. So I would wonder if a lot of that has influenced why you're here today. Well,
let me explain why I'm here. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm an elder. And when I was younger, I did all this. And when I was younger, I did go to jail for these things. But I'm not supposed to do this. My job as an elder is to teach our young people love. And one of the major problems that happened to Native Americans in Canada and in the United States were the boarding schools. And the boarding schools created such trauma that the people who went through the boarding schools were so traumatized. When they went home, they couldn't tell their children they loved them. They weren't able to hug them. So the new movement with my elder people is we teach our people to love each other. We never leave the house. Never leave the house without telling our families that we love them. And I extend that to all people. My friend here is shocked to see me this way. He doesn't know me this way. He only knows me as a kind, loving person. And this is sort of, in some ways, my last stand. This is my last time to really get to, to be heard. And to be honest with you, I was perfectly willing to go to jail. I did everything I could except hit them. I screamed at them for half an hour. I heard them call them some very inappropriate stuff. And I don't mean it. I only said it to be arrested. I love this guy. I love this Muslim. But I just want him to hear me. And sometimes the only way for somebody to be heard is to make a lot of noise. And I'll probably go home and I'll probably cry about this. But that's something I have to live with. I have to live with the possibility that they're in pain. And that's not something that I'm comfortable with, to be honest.
Do you feel like getting arrested today would have helped you to be heard by some of these people?
I feel like getting arrested would have made me feel like I made to prove to myself that I made an effort. I've never been to jail. Who knows what that would have been like. I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, and I got beat up every other day from black people. Therefore, I could have easily have been a racist. But what I saw was how they were treated by the police. The police in LA are harsh. I came to New York. I could not believe how kind the police were here. I could not believe it. I was able to talk to them. I was able to buy them coffee. I had a beat cop that I knew that if I got drunk, he would make sure I got home. And in LA, that would never happen, ever happen. I knew people in LA that I went to high school with. They wanted to arrest me for jaywalking. So, from what I'm saying, black people, I could have easily been a racist. I was a substance abuse counselor for 20 years, and I immediately saw that a profit organization is fixed because all they care about is the money. That's the bottom line. So they would do things like discharge somebody one day after they did 29 days and 30 days they discharge them. They would discharge that person and they would get another person in. So therefore they were getting paid twice. And I saw them discharge people. I saw them keep people too long. Substance abuse counselors. I saw them keep, and that really, if you keep somebody for too long, they sort of don't care, and so it causes relapse.
So would you say that that's kind of a mirror to the things that you're seeing elsewhere? Is that kind of a mirror to some of the things that we're seeing elsewhere, that, there is profit coming from these detention centers?
Oh, absolutely. The profit, all the hospitals are the same way. I've been in the hospital for about 10 years, in and out of the hospital for the past 10 years. My poor wife, she married me, and that's what happened. And it was the same thing there. The nurses, they did not have enough people for the nurses. They didn't have enough help. The people that would clean me up and stuff, they were treated the worst. I know what I had to do, so I would buy them cakes and chocolate and candy. I knew exactly what to do. And honest to God, I became a favorite of every nurse that was with me. I mean, I did, and so many different things I did. The nurse there was a new nurse who would come in and couldn't stick the needle in right, and she would try it 6 times, and she would be crying, and I would tell her, "Don't worry about it." And then what often happened was, in the night they would come in and sort of let off steam to me. They would, tell me what's going on, what's bothering them, and we would laugh, and all of this stuff was. And it's not because I'm good; it's because I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I was able to learn and change my attitude. I used to be a gang member. But I wasn't a good gang member. Believe me, the first time there was this threat of going to jail, I quit. I've been stabbed, I've been shot at, I've been jumped, all this stuff, and none of it stuck. I mean, I was a chicken, basically. I wasn't willing to go out and fight for it.
Maybe not a chicken. Maybe you clearly have a lot of empathy and humanity in you.
At that time, I didn't have empathy. At that time, everything was survival. So once again, that's why I say I was lucky.
So I would ask, as a final question to kind of like tie all of this stuff up for viewers of Status Coup. So again, like this is a protest in support of immigrant rights. You gave a lot of your backstory, and you're here. You're here supporting people. Why should people be coming out to support immigrant rights, even if they feel like it doesn't affect them, even if they feel disconnected to the issues right now? Why should people be coming out anyway?
Okay. People should be coming out because it's the current state now. They're arresting people indiscriminately. And oftentimes arresting people, and you can see it in the news, that they're arresting people that are citizens. They're in the separation of, they're arresting people and they're taking the people, and the people have kids at home. And they're not going and taking care of them. So these kids are being left alone. I grew up in L.A., so I have a lot of empathy for the people there, because when I was younger, those were really the people I hung out with. They were not Native people there when I was growing up. I identified mostly with the Mexican population. So my message is, even if you don't know someone, talk to someone that does, and just be willing to listen. I can't tell you to understand. I can't tell you to believe, but there's a possibility that you'll change if you listen. You can change on your own by hearing stories like this. I'm a crier. I'm really surprised. I didn't cry today because I will cry for anything. And my elders, and when I'm in circle with all my elders, I'm the only one that cries. And my elder says, that's my job, to cry. My job is to show people that they have that same kind of empathy inside of themselves. The other thing I was taught, no matter what we think, we have the ability to love people. We have more love in us. We are never going to run out of love. Never. It's impossible. I love my enemies. I love people that have treated me badly. And my friend back here, he can attest to that. He is the same way. We have a different style, but he's the same way as I am. One of the reasons we're attracted to each other is because we both possess that. And in his mind, not mine, but I could be wrong, but in his mind, I think he competes with me a little bit about loving people. Not me, that doesn't mean anything to me. You should allow this gentleman here to say something.
because, like I said, he knows me. He has my back regardless of whatever's going on. But he has on our block. We sit out there. Every single person that walks by, he has had some. Has had some interaction with them. They love him. They talk to him. He gives everybody a fist bump. He makes them cakes for people. He runs errands for people. All of these things that I can't do. I mean, I would probably do them if I could, but he does them. So in that way, he's absolutely, without a doubt, an inspiration to me.
That is quite the endorsement. Any thoughts that you would want to add after that lovely...
Well, I don't want to take away from everything he said, but I do want to hit on something that he said about whether you know someone or not. What can we do? I forgot who the quote is from, but I would like to share a quote that I read just recently. And it was a woman, and she said, in a world where anyone can be anything they want, we need more people to just be kind. Period. And we'll leave it at that.
And that's the truth.
I think that's a really good note to end it on, guys. Thank you both so much. Can we just get your names for viewers of Status Coup before we let you go?
Zubin Ornelas.
Bobby Mori.
Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. This is Status Coup. We're on YouTube. I'll give you my card when we close. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate everything that you had to say.
And thank you guys for...
I'm going to be mortified.
Absolutely. I'm sure not.
I'm going to be mortified. Because I'm going to see how bad I
All right, guys, so we're going to get ready to wrap up. It's been a long day for us. If you can, please support us. Become a member. StatusCoup.com/join. Sign up. $5 a month. That's all we need to continue our on-the-ground reporting. Again, we're planning to go back to the Everglades to cover the alligator Alcatraz and other stories around the country. So, yeah, please support us. And I'm going to pass it back to Ashley, and we'll wrap this up. All right, you ready? Let's wrap up.
Okay. All right. So I think that was a good second final note to end on. We're going to close out for real this time. It is time. I am ready. I know John is ready. I think we both probably need water and all that stuff. So it's time. It's extremely hot and just really uncomfortable in the city right now. So again, this was great. I'm glad that we were able to stop and speak with both of them. That was a good note to end on. So thank you guys. If you've watched, past our first closing and into the second closing, we appreciate you being here with us and sticking around. I think that was probably very worthwhile. Again, if you have made it this far and you still have not liked, followed, and subscribed to Status Coup, you should do that. I don't know what you're doing. You should do that now. If you're not yet a member, you can join us at StatusCoup.com/join, and you can see more interviews like this. I don't see any corporate media out here. It's just us. It's John and I on the ground. So you can support our independent journalism by becoming a member, and we can bring you more interviews from people on the ground, just everyday working Americans. Yeah. So that's it. Thank you guys. We will see you in the next video.